Okay, and away we go. It's just me and this kitty here, and LPH is upstairs, and I see there's some people already sitting here waiting. I see Robert, I see Atomic. Thank you for joining us this evening. LPH will be downstairs in a moment. Sitting here in the Open by Chance Toy Museum, getting covered with fur because I've got a cat in my lap. Of course, that's Miss Kitty sitting in my lap here as we wait for LPH to join us. Hope some people can jump in this evening. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 1st. It's not a holiday, is it? There's Kaiser Kaiju. Hello, can you hear me? I didn't ask if anybody can hear me all right yet. R.A., thank you for joining us this evening. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Got, see, this kitty here trying to get some attention. The chairs that LPH made for the museum here. But she should be, I think I hear her coming down the stairs now. John McJunkin, Broly Khan. Yes, I did hear about that Neil Adams had died. He was like, what, 80 years old, correct? Yeah, legendary comic book artist, mostly with DC. Thank you. Yes, R.A. says he can hear me. And speaking of hearing something, and hear and see LPH with her Grogu shirt, and she's never seen The Mandalorian. Oh, yeah, that's right. And Gilbert Godfrey died not too long ago as well.
Gilbert Godfrey died. Hi, everyone. We got Robert, Atomic Fitness, Kaiju, R.A., John McJunkin, Broly Khan. Johnny Future is in the house. Robert online. Robert just a fan.
Yeah, you'll never get rid of that. You'll never will.
I know.
Johnny Future.
Yeah, I said
Sorry,
Johnny Future.
You did say Johnny Future. Hello, Johnny
Hi,
Future.
everybody. Hope y'all had a very uneventful week.
Telephones.
Let me go ahead and mute my phone. YouTube is telling me that David is live.
Thanks.
I know.
At least it's letting somebody know. I don't know if it lets anybody know or not, or they just kind of stumble over us. I think the most attention we ever got doing a live stream was the very first time we did it, and it was totally spontaneous and a test, and it was jammed in here.
Yeah, everybody
was in, and now it's just like you tell people in advance, and it's like I don't know what happened. Yes, I did see that. You sent that to Facebook, Johnny Future.
But
he has a comic book sketch cover from Neil Adams.
Hi, Darren.
Darren
Good to
Hoyt.
see you again. Yep. Again, hope y'all had a very uneventful week. With not a lot of
she's getting fur all over me. I shouldn't have worn black.
I know. Not a lot of excitement.
Negativity.
Negative excitement.
Excitement's good as long as it's not negative.
Yeah.
There's enough negativity in the world.
Know,
Thank you so much.
You don't need any more.
Yeah, and he says he's glad we are live. Well, we're glad you could join us and just discuss anything and everything nostalgia and pop culture. Because that's what we're all about here. And let's see. Had a big scare this week with the old BrawlyCon. What I have first John Stewart Green Lantern 87 signed by Neil Adams. Wow. Ooh. Occam's Razor. Yes, you did catch us. Thanks for popping in
a nice CGC haul. Oh, thanks. Glad you liked it.
Oh, thank you. That's right. Yeah, I try. I try, and like I said in that video, I worked on all those books myself. I do my own cleaning and pressing and centering. Oh yeah, Johnny Future. Anyone visit the bank and get a loan for that $14,000 statue? Suggested retail price. You might find it a hair cheaper, but that is the suggested. I think it's actually like 13,890 or something crazy like that. So I just said 14,000.
Yeah.
But think also about this. Shipping. How much is shipping going to be on that?
How much
it's
is
still
taxes?
A big piece. Taxes.
$14,000.
Some states have as much as 10%. That's better be $1,400 in taxes for that thing. It's incredible.
That's crazy. And me and David talked about it because it's a 1/6 scale statue.
Yeah, it's not that big.
And Prime One, this is their second one. The other one was the Swamp Thing, and that's at
$760 or something, right?
Yeah, like let's say $800.
Okay.
So I think it's all a test to see how far they can push the envelope, because The Swamp Thing is at the low end, and this one is at the high end. If
Oh, you're
they
shitting.
sell all of the Final Fantasy for $14,000, they know they can sell the rest of their statues at $14,000. So that's what my thought is. So they're seeing, okay, let's see how many we can sell at 800. Let's see how many we can sell at 14,000.
Yeah.
I mean, because
And
really,
probably all of them, I bet.
but really, what is so great about that statue to make it $14,000?
It's got a lot of nice detail.
It does have
Final
great
Fantasy is a
details.
popular franchise.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's worthy of a down payment on a house. You know, because that's what
Yeah.
that sounds like a down payment on a house to
You can
me.
get your kitchen renovated. You can
Or
get your bathroom renovated.
or
Buy all new
a
furniture.
modern used car. You know,
Yeah.
a modern used car, one that's
Mhm.
only got like a couple of years old. Maybe it's got like 20, 30,000 miles on it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, William
Yeah.
Randall made it. Thank
Hey,
you for
William
joining us.
Randall, how are
It
you?
says Revelation is getting a second season.
Yeah, we heard that a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
That put that out. I guess it's more confirmed now.
Yeah.
Hey, Master Mexico, how are you?
He says for 14,000 he could get a house, a car, and a wife.
Real size. Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
mean, I really
Kitty.
believe that it's a test to see if
What can we get away
how
with?
much further they can push the
Now
envelope
that
as
she
far
shed all
as
over me here.
prices, because again, it's a 1/6 scale statue. I mean, quarter scale statues you can get for $800. I mean, not from Prime One, but still you can get them. You know, so I don't. That's just a little ridiculous to me.
No, Crumb is not coming down here.
No.
He's too aggressive.
What scale is a cat and how much?
Yeah.
You can have the cat.
Aw, poor
Come
Miss
and get
Kitty.
him.
Occam's
We'll leave
Razor.
him outside.
Occam's Razor says, I think CGC pre-orders for figures from CGC. It says, just making a comparison. All of it takes way too long. Companies should be ashamed, to be honest. Do you think businesses have conditioned the public to long waits? Yes, they have. People have gotten very accustomed to just and people that are really bought in, and I've talked about this before, not fans, but fanatics.
Yeah.
Fanatics for a certain franchise, whether it's Hot Toys or Mezco or CGC grading or NECA or whatever it is, they will justify any mistake, any error. They will justify problems that exist with the product that has been going on for years that the company does not bother to do anything about. They'll justify it, and that helps that company to get away with it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh well, people are complaining, but listen to these people. They're telling them to take a jump. So why should we bother? Because if you complain to NECA, Mezco, whoever, they'll blow you off.
Yeah.
They don't care. CGC. Remember, I had some issues with CGC. I mentioned it in that unboxing video. I've sent them email after email. I don't remember how many I sent them complaining about a mistake that they had made on their invoice. They never responded. Never responded to the email, not even an automated response. You expect at least the AI to say, oh, someone is going to review. Nothing. It was corrected because, and again, in case you didn't see that video, the grader caught it. He was like, wait a minute, that's not the correct issue. That was my point. It was correct on the invoice I sent, but it got switched somehow online. And I said, hey, did you guys make a mistake? Never bothered to answer me, but fortunately the grader did catch it, so I didn't have to return it and get him to do it right. But yeah, they've conditioned people to wait and wait and wait and wait.
And pay and pay and pay.
Yeah, and pay and pay.
William Randall says he got his McDonald's playset.
Okay.
He's going to post some pictures next week.
Yeah, put them up on the Facebook group.
Darren says Positive Fandom was doing a show and tell of the quarter scale Mandalorian and Grogu.
Really?
I guess. The most I bought a figure was $700 Dirty Harry custom figure. I ended up
trading it for a few statues. Okay.
Jughead, hey, we haven't seen you in a long time.
Where's Jughead been?
Long time, sorry. John, I'm a collector much like anyone else here, but let's be reasonable. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys.
There's a limit.
Yeah, because like I was talking about that Swamp Thing statue. I really wanted that because I love Swamp Thing and I wanted a statue, but I'm not going to pay that much for a 1/6 scale. statue, that's, to me, I just can't justify it. I mean, if I hit the lottery, I would get that quarter scale one that they have, or third scale one, but I have to hit the lottery for it.
Yeah.
But I think, I really believe that is a test to see how far they can
I don't know
go.
how some people do it. I mean, most collectors don't have a disposable income. I mean, we get a lot of stuff, but this is years and years, and a lot of hustling, a lot of deals, a lot of trades. We didn't just run out and say, "Ha, I will buy all of this." It doesn't work that way in the real world for most people. I mean, there's a handful of people that can.
Some of these channels now, and they make you think money just.
They discourage you from the hobby because there's people that I've had people make comments in the comment section on the channel, where they're like, "Hey, it's a rich man's hobby. I can't collect comics." Yes, you can. You just got to be savvy about it and get used to the idea that most of the time you're probably not going to get what you're looking for. You just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, and my thing is, okay, you buy something, it might be a little dented up, and then you have it, you wait a little longer, something else comes along and you upgrade it.
Yes.
And you sell the old one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways around it. You just got to, again, be savvy, be smart about it, and you got to know what you really like. Are you just buying something because it's a fad?
Yeah, get careful with the impulse buying. We did a video on that like a year ago. The impulse buying can get you in trouble.
You like Star Wars, but then you don't like the Mandalorian. So why buy Mandalorian figures?
Yeah.
Oh, because
as an example.
Yeah, because I like Star Wars. Yeah, but you don't like this, or you don't like this certain character, because it's lines that I like, but I only like a certain character, so I only buy that character, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because then you have a bunch of stuff that you don't really like, because you really only want this one character because that's the only character that you like.
BrolyCon, it's open by chance on Facebook.
Okay.
Open by chance. And Donovan says, a random question: if you had one item to have in your collection that's like top of your wish list, what would it be?
Swamp Thing by Prime One Studio.
Yeah, the Prime One Studio Swamp Thing. I knew you were going to say that.
I love that statue. I do. I really like that statue. Again, if I hit the lottery, that's one of the first ones I'll buy.
Right now, I'm looking for loose, complete Terradrome. I would love to get my hands on a loose, complete Terradrome.
He's been going on, and then he'll look for it at the shows.
But they're always shady about it. They like the one guy. Oh, it's mint and complete, but then there's no figure, or there's no action figure with it. Why? Oh, I don't sell figures with the play sets. It's not complete, is it? Or this part has been replaced, or the stickers are peeled off, or they tell you it's complete and then it isn't. And I don't know what it is with the raw sellers. A lot of them that think that mint and complete means that there's no figure with it if it came with one. Pisses me off.
Johnny says, honestly, it might just be better to get your books graded and back by Sunday night at a Comic-Con. You would pay a little more, but it would be worth it rather than wait up to 2 years.
Well, he's got magazines in. Am I correct? You got magazines waiting? That's the longest waiting list with CGC is magazines. You're damn near a year for a magazine.
Wow.
And more if you've got the cleaning and pressing on it. But also watch out at the shows. They're really rushed, and they could it could work out in your favor, or it could work against you, because it's even more of a toss of a coin when they're in a hurry.
Eric says, I have a Chris Reeves quarter scale premium format, Linda Carter third scale prime one, and a life-size Harley Quinn bust, all from different studios, and all delayed.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush, but can see someone being impatient. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my Big Chief Studios Tom Baker, because they've delayed that. But everything, even before the whole pandemic bit, everything that Big Chief put out was delayed. This is a long time problem.
Jughead says he's newly married. Yay! Congratulations.
I hope that works out well for you.
Yeah. So he's been very busy. Robert says, well, you bought the Bela Lugosi. Not cheap, but I think he's worth it. I'm waiting for the NECA version. Yeah.
Give him a chance. The license is open now because the family authorized it. Hunter Mars says, cool. Yes, I am. Thank you so much for.
Wynn says he could buy my own instant Star Wars collection for 14,000. Yeah,
if it's
you
all
could.
loose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean.
Johnny says CGC pressing alone is a year wait.
Yeah, I know. That's why I do it myself.
Yeah. Well, everybody don't know how.
I know. It's a long process. I mean, you could spend a whole day working on one book. You know, you just got to be careful.
Broly says it's all about hunting. He knows a guy who goes to estate sales and garage sales. He found Batman 50, the original Batman number 50, at the Olympic estate sale. Got it for $20. Wow.
Oh my.
Are you still pausing on your collection? It is it to do too much coming out of at once.
Burnout. Taking a break.
Yeah, I am pausing because it is kind of a burnout. It's other things that I want to do and get involved in, and I don't collect a lot of stuff, so nothing really is coming out right now that I want. And I want to save some money because I want to do something else with my money. And so I'm just taking a break. I'm not selling anything. I'm not going to stop collecting. I'm not going to get rid of anything that I want. Now, if something comes out that I really, really want, I would get it. But as of now, I got some stuff on pre-order, a million things, it seems like, on Big Bad Toy Store. I'm going to get all of those. But I'm not really going to get anything else. I just need a break from it all. I don't even have space. Half of the stuff is in boxes.
That's what Kaiser Kaiju says. There's so much stuff to throw me off from what I want, honestly. Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, and you know, and I know I always say buy the things you like, and I do buy the things that I like, but then it seems like, and we talked about it before, how you have one franchise and 10 companies making
the same thing,
and you're like,
and it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah. And now you're like, okay, well, I really like, I don't know, Ninja Turtles. We'll use that for an example. But then you'll have 5 companies making Ninja Turtles. And it's like, then you end up buying this because you're getting confused. And you can't find it in the stores. This one is exclusive over here. You know, it's just too much, and I don't feel like being bothered for a while. So I just kind of gave up on it. Not gave up, but just kind of put it on pause for a while. And like I said, if something comes out that I really want, like a Swamp Thing statue that's within reason, I would get that. But right now, I'm just going to take a break.
This Scooby 75.
Of course, they didn't know what they had.
He's talking about the estate sale.
Yeah, he's talking about
sometimes. If the estate sale is being managed, it's going to be top dollar.
Yeah.
If they're doing it themselves, it's just like, oh, the family's just let's have an estate sale this weekend.
Yeah.
You can catch deals.
We went to 2 this weekend.
Yeah.
And those people just kind of gave away their stuff. Yeah. We looked at some DVDs and they were $1 a piece. And the guy was like,
cents.
Yeah, the guy was like, oh, you can have 5 of them for $1.
Yeah, he's like, forget it.
Yeah, 5 for $1.
20 cents a piece.
And then they had some
snow babies.
Some snow babies. This lady had a ton of snow babies.
Because she collects those.
And she was like, hey, you can have the whole thing for this amount.
I was like, really?
That's how much it costs for one.
But then we've been to other ones, the ones where you hire an estate sale company to come out and they price everything and you're looking at the price tags and you're like, what, are they nuts?
Yeah, and they don't budge.
No, they will not budge on you.
They will not budge. There's some, okay, you read that. Gary says you've got to play the long game. Yeah, and let the hobby finance itself.
Sometimes it does.
Sell a few things to afford the price you've been looking for.
That's true. You know, why we do stuff like that, like we're going to this next.
Yeah.
And we will have a table there, you know, get rid of some extra stuff just for the, you know, probably end up spending it right there.
Yeah.
And Scooby.
He said hi.
Yeah, but he has a question here somewhere. Oh, did you guys pick up the Jada Monster cereal figures? I like those, but I did not get them.
Yeah, I'm not into that. So
and Stone Sour is here.
Yeah. Hey, Stone Sour. How are you?
I don't know if I said that.
As emergency medical technician and ambulance driver, I make a decent living, but product manufacturers asking $14,000 for a 6-scale figure on anything is way out of my league. Yeah.
I think I actually had a couple, like 2 people on the thread on that last roundup video say that used the term obscene to describe that price.
It is, and it's kind of like insulting almost, because it's like, okay, you want our stuff, you're gonna pay for it. You know, it's kind of like arrogant almost in a way.
Peasants, buy this if you can.
It's like, and we talked about this before,
Yeah.
and I believe it, because it's everywhere. You have a class status in collecting.
That's true.
You have, and they'll tell you this in marketing. You have the figures that come out at Dollar Tree and Walmart. They're the low ends. You have the little tiny statues of figures that come out at GameStop. They're a little lower. Then you move up a little bit to Mezco. And those kinds of things. You move up a little bit to 3.0, you move up to Hot Toys.
Yeah.
And now you start, ooh, I'm a hot toy collector. I don't know how you can
Huzzah!
How can anyone
put in my monocle
stand to get anything but hot toys, you know? Or I only collect Prime 1 and XM statues. Ugh. Like, dude, who cares?
Looking at your pitiful collection gives me the vapors.
What's wrong with you? But it's people out there like that. I met them in my quilting club. I mean, true. I go to the quilting club, and you will be amazed how people talk about sewing machines. Oh, you have a Singer sewing machine? Oh, you buy that at Walmart. I have a Juki. Like, so it's
which is like what, a $3,000 sewing machine, I think. Yeah,
they got classes for everything, and it's like, dude, we're sewing. Oh, you buy your fabric from Goodwill and Walmart? Yeah, I do. You go to Joann's and buy that fabric that's $20 a yard.
RA says he waited 3 years for his Deja Thoris from Sideshow. Yeah, see, it's crazy.
I know I can't afford the Dragon Ball figures with my salary, but I pick and choose which ones I want to
sometimes
focus
that's
on.
what you gotta do.
And it's nothing wrong with that. But people will make, especially on the YouTube and the Facebook, they'll try to make you feel bad because you don't have the top of the line, you know? Like, so what? I can afford it and I still eat. I can put gas in my car and stuff like that.
Our Joseph Grundy is here.
Hey, Joseph Grundy.
And we're like a hair behind on
I know, because we're trying to read
trying to keep up, trying to acknowledge everybody. And Johnny says, yeah, you're right. You have to wonder if the grade is really correct or the grade is rushing through. At the cons, I think they kind of rush it. And I don't know if that is good or bad. They could miss something and you get a good grade, which wouldn't be an honest grade then. Or they could overlook a really good condition and downgrade you, and then you're like, hey, wait a minute. It's safer when you send it in, but it is a lot slower, at least with CGC, because I don't think PGX or CBCS has missed a beat, but people don't take them as seriously as they take
because
CGC.
It's
about the class. It's about the class again.
It is.
Yeah, they're like, if it's not CGC, I've had people insult me for having CGC in my collection, or not CGC, but PGX graded books in my collection. They're like, you got something graded from PGX? Dude, shut up. You know,
Massive Mexico is making fun of Jughead, another one by
and Robert wants to see you review a Bela Lugosi. It's
David
coming.
does all of my reviews for me. I really wanted to get a line of the classic Universal monsters, and they're doing it, and then Mondo started. So, and that's what I'm talking about.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, because I found the ones, I got some from Diamond Select. And then Mondo came out with the 1/6 scale. So I was like, oh, okay, I really like the 1/6 scale. I'll get that. But they came out with one. And now you got this Bela Lugosi one. And it's like you're cracking a door open, but are you going to swing it wide open? Who knows? I bought my Sunday ticket for PowerCon. Migo is going to be there. And I'm going to ask them about making a blue and gray suit black man. Wow. The one they made a couple of years ago is black and gray. And Jughead is laughing at Max to Mexico.
Craig and Bush is joining us.
Hey, Craig. Darren said Mike from Red Letter Media did a video where he melted down over 2,000 vintage. Oh, like melted them with fire?
Yeah, I think so. He did. It's for attention. I bet you he got a crap ton of views for ruining that stuff. I've seen some stuff like that before. There's one guy, and I couldn't watch him. He gets the most pristine condition carded vintage figures he can find and tears them apart, tears them open so that he can have a pristine loose one. But you could buy a really badly damaged card figure and do that if you really want to, because there's a lot of really rotty cards out there that it's like, okay, if I bust this open, no big deal. But to get a pristine like Indiana Jones figure, unpunched, perfect, and then tear it apart so that you can do it on camera, when there are people out there that are busting their butts trying to bid for something like that, been trying to track it down for years and get a good price, it's kind of evil. I couldn't watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't watch that, but I'm like this, and I always say it, and I mean it. That's that guy's money. If he want to spend,
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, $700 for a pristine carded figure, and then rip it to shreds. That's your money. You ain't hurting me because it wasn't mine. Yeah. And that's how I look at it. And I know that might not be a great attitude, but it's the truth. You don't want anybody telling you how to do your money. I mean, I wouldn't watch it.
I'd be pissed if I was the guy he beat at that auction, though.
Yeah.
It's like, you bastard, you opened it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't watch that because I do think that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
But if you got a figure and you want to open it, hey, that's on you.
Lonan has joined us.
And see. Robert, I thought you said you had got the Bela Lugosi. You said you didn't, but I thought when it came out, at first you said that you had it.
Oh, Robert's commenting on that Build-A-Figure. Didn't know people take out the Build-A-Figure out of the box and return it. Yeah, that guy confessed to it on his video.
Yeah, because I was watching the video because he was talking about something and I wanted to hear what he was saying. And he was talking about how Marvel Legends, how bad they're getting. They're not as great as they used to be. So now he just buys the figures, take the Build-A-Figure out, and returns it back to Walmart,
and it's like you can't give it away or sell it. I mean, people buy loose figures.
Yeah,
I mean, you might at least make your money back. You don't.
He'll make his money back at Walmart.
Yeah, I guess so.
You really make your money back.
That's like there's one guy on, I don't know who it is, but there's one guy on Instagram that I guess he works in returns, and he takes pictures of the figures that get returned because it's always like the wrong thing in there. It'll be like a Marvel Legends and it's got an old Lord of the Rings figure in it or something, some piece of crap figure that they return.
And it's just like we said before, and we talked about it. I don't know if David put the video up, but we were talking about customer service. And because you don't have
that one's coming. That discussion is coming.
Okay, because you don't have specialty shops and you don't have people that really know what they're doing in the store, like at Walmart, you can return stuff to Walmart. And you can return it in this box, and it's something totally different in the box. They don't look. They don't know what's supposed to be in there. Yeah, they don't care. They just take it from you. They used to ask you one time, why are you returning this? They don't even ask. They just ask you for your receipt, and if you don't have the receipt, they look up your credit card.
Because they wanted to verify it back in the day. I still got fur on me from Kitty. Back in the day, they used to want to verify that. That was part of the customer service. Is something wrong with it? Did you just not like it? Because they want to know, hey, can we put this back on the shelf? It'll be okay, or do we need to D100 it or what?
Yeah.
It's just gotten so sloppy. They don't even care. That William says there's a guy that buys $100,000 cars and wrecks them on purpose. Yeah, for views, for attention, for the ad revenue.
Clickbait.
Yeah, ad revenue, and people will watch it just so that they can be pissed off.
Why you want to be pissed off? I mean, it's enough in natural life to piss you off. You don't need to go watch a YouTube video.
Howard Stern coined that, and I think I've mentioned it before. I want to say he was on the Dave Brenner show. Who remembers that back during the late night wars after Johnny Carson, when Johnny Carson was leaving and Jay Leno was taking over and everybody had a late night show. Chevy Chase had one. Everybody did. I want to say it was Dave Brenner, and this was in the late 80s or early 90s. And he said that he was acknowledging the fact that on his radio show, this when he was still just doing radio, at least half the people listening to his show hate him, and they're listening to hear him say that one thing that's going to be the nail in the coffin in his career. He was like, they just was sitting there waiting. Oh yeah, he's going to blow it tonight, and then and lose his career. But he didn't care because they were still listening.
Alcom want to know the best press he wants to buy or where to start looking because he wants to do his own stuff, his own pressing.
Yeah, did you watch the pressing video? I can't remember I don't remember the name of the press. Make sure there's a lot of really cheap ones. But you just got a new one
because the one he had broke.
Yeah, the make sure it's all metal construction, and make sure it's a lever press, not one that comes straight down, but one that
oh boy, here we go with that,
comes down like this. A lever press, and make sure you got a really good surface area, at least 15 inches of surface area. But I have a video showing it. I don't remember the specific brand name of that though, but it's probably something I can't pronounce anyway because they make them all in China now.
You bought it on eBay?
Of course. But you can find them on eBay easy enough, but there's a lot of scams with them too, unfortunately. But don't get anything with plastic components because with that much compression, it's going to snap eventually.
That's what happened to your other one.
Yeah, I had another one, and it wasn't what I was expecting. It was like a lot cheaper, and the thing cracked, and the heating element's fine, but then the component, the pressing component, couldn't hold up to the stress of the unit, and you probably don't even need to adjust it because it'll be shipped to you closed and locked, and that compression is already set at the maximum compression for that closure, so you don't need to adjust it any tighter probably if you get a new one. But yeah, make sure it's all metal components.
Johnny says at customer service center at Walmart, I saw a full cake container with only one slice left that someone returned. Asked the employee about it. The person returned it because they're diabetic.
Oh yeah, maybe the employees at the Walmart were eating it. They were like, "Oh, they brought this back anyway. Let me get a slice. Let me get a slice of that cake."
What's your all-time favorite comic book? Asked Robert Cameron.
I actually like Batman the Cult, which is highly underrated. I like the Weird. I like the Weird comic book. I used to like Raj 2000. Who remembers Raj 2000? Anybody?
No.
Master of Magnetism. I wonder if Mezco will ever do reissues like Hot Toys does. I don't know. They might. If they do,
didn't they reissue a couple of things?
I don't know if Mezco has, but Hot Toys does do that occasionally, and people, the Hot Toys, hoity-toity, big-time Hot Toys collectors who have like 196 of them hate that because it devalues
them. Destroying things out of hate or indifferent to other people's feelings, is a bit mentally disturbing, like the terrorists that blew up those giant ancient Buddha statues in Afghanistan in 2000. Your thoughts on Hasbro removing all windows from the figure boxes for environmental concerns? They say. I don't buy it. Just cheaper.
Yeah, it's just cheaper, I'm sure. But it's environmental. It's plastic. Yeah, okay.
Hey, Sub-Zero.
Oh, Sub-Zero's joining us.
Johnny says Batman the Killing Joke is good. Yeah, it is. We've been watching some of the animated Batman movies. The Killing Joke was really good. We saw The Long Halloween parts 1 and 2. And yesterday we watched the one with Mr. Freeze. That one was pretty sad.
Yeah, the one with Mr. Freeze is always sad when they follow the story right. If you think about it, the majority of Batman's foes are people that had nervous breakdowns and lost their minds. He's talking about The Killing Joke, the comic book, but the animated version.
I thought he said he watched it. Okay.
Did he say he watched it?
No, he just said the Batman the Killing Joke is good. Okay.
The animated version, they added like 45 minutes to the beginning of it. The last half of it is the Killing Joke word for word. But the first half of it is some other story that you're like, what the hell's going on? If you read the Killing Joke originally.
Yeah.
I used to have a couple of copies of that because they reprinted it a few times.
Okay. Broly Khan said he saw the Sub-Zero and it was good. Master Magnetism saw Batman the movie and he didn't like it.
Okay.
We saw Snake Eyes movie and didn't like it.
Oh my God.
That movie.
Oh, this action figure expert. Thanks for joining us.
And HM likes
like the comic video. He said, please do more. I'm working on it. I'm gonna have a little bit more time. And I'll try to do more of the comic related videos. But yeah, you're talking about Snake Eyes.
Yeah, we saw that movie. It's on Amazon Prime. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I thought about it and kind of wanted to see it. And I don't like how they did his character.
No.
I mean, granted, I've never read the comic, but I have seen the cartoon. And just based on the cartoon, his character in the movie was just far off. They made him just like a nasty, selfish.
He was selfish.
Bastard.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if anybody saw the Snake Eyes movie, spoiler a little bit here. Even when he had his change of heart at the end of the film, he really didn't. He just realized that the person he was working with was really his enemy, so redirected his revenge. And then when he goes looking for a Storm Shadow to bring him back, that was just guilt. So I mean, he's really a bastard through the whole film. And Storm Shadow was like the anti-hero. It's a shame the way that they completely rewrote it. And quite frankly, when they brought in Scarlet, I was done. I was like, I don't even want to see this now. When I saw the scene with Scarlet, I was like, oh, there's Scarlet. She's going to beat up a whole bunch of big dudes that are armed.
Yeah,
and she did. And I was like, give me a break. Because I'm so sick of seeing like 90-pound, 5'2" girls with like 8-inch stilettos kicking the crap out of like Marines and ninjas and whatever.
Let's see. Sub-Zero says that the animated Batman movies follows the comics pretty well, and we're seeing that, and I'm really starting to like that.
Yeah, she's liking them.
Animated Dark Knight Returns was good. We have that. We haven't gotten to it yet because we're watching like one a week. Occam Rather asked if we seen Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earth. We have that also, and we just haven't gotten to it because we got a few of the Supermans, a few of the Justice Leagues, and a bunch of the Batman. So we're gonna watch them. Broly Khan says Snake Eyes was a joke. It should have been about Storm Shadow. Yeah, it seemed like Storm Shadow got screwed over.
He did
pretty bad,
more than once
by Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
Snake Eyes. I mean, he was really trying to help Snake Eyes and just screwed the guy over.
And they reduced the Baroness to a bureaucrat.
Yeah,
she was useless.
How old is the Batgirl in the comics? I don't know.
She's young.
She's like in college, right?
Yeah, because you got to remember, Batgirl was not necessarily a DC creation. Batgirl was created for the 1966 Batman series to introduce a female character. And then her first appearance in the comic books, and was it Detective Comics? I can't remember which. I actually have it because it's one of my rescue books. I found one in a damaged case at a comic convention not too long ago. I probably showed it in one of our convention tour videos. And so I busted it open and have read it and cleaned it and repressed it. So it'll be going into CGC eventually here. But that first appearance in that comic, it coincides with her appearance on the 66 Batman because they wrote her into the show. It's kind of like on the old Super Friends. They had, who was it? The tornado guy who was Japanese, and they had the Indian who got really big. I can't remember his name. You probably know who I'm talking about if you remember Super Friends. And like the Wonder Twins with Gleep. Those were all written for the show. So then they had to backtrack to the comics and then integrate them somehow. But they made them for the show to create diversity in the shows, even back then.
Okay, Master Magnetism said the Riddler was cool in the Batman. I thought he was really good. Robert wants to know if we saw Spider-Man No Way Home. No, we haven't. Know. We do want to see the Doctor Strange though.
I like the original Doctor Strange.
And Johnny says he also saw the animated Killing Joke and hated the beginning because it is not in the actual comic.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, it's the comic is better than the animated
let's extend movie. This. We don't want to make a 45-minute movie. We'll just make it a little longer and add some stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess they just wanted to fill it out for time, but they could have filled it out with telling more of the Joker's life because he was married. I think his wife was pregnant or just had a baby. They could have kind of, beef that part up a little bit.
They didn't want to alter the story, that part of the story though, okay. Because then everybody who knew the Killing Joke was going to get really pissed off at DC.
But it did get pissed off. Well, I guess they said, well, let's just add a piece at the beginning.
Yeah, that's why they did it that way. If they padded it out, I think more people would have been upset.
Okay. I prefer the Nolan versus Christian Bale Batman movies. Okay. Can't wait for the multiverse madness. I have no intention on seeing the Snake Eyes movie. It sounds so awful. It is. Stay away from the live action Joe movies. That's the first one I ever saw. So
yeah, they had a part 1 and a part 2 originally, and it had like Bruce Willis and stuff in it. But I mean, they're okay, but it's like watching live action Raw, and that's not what people want. They want live action, the comic book version.
What are both your thoughts on why Disney still isn't producing well-made DC films as compared to Marvel and Star? Disney doesn't do DC films.
Warner Brothers does DC. I think he got it backwards.
Yeah. Disney does the Marvel and Star Wars, but not DC. I know Warner Brothers does
because Stan Lee is dead and there's nobody to kick him in the pants anymore. Yeah. But no, Disney is on the go woke or go broke bandwagon, and enough said there. You already know the story. It's they have the people that are in charge there. They've got their own ideas about what everybody should be thinking, and that's always a problem.
I am an Ra fan. I can't bring myself to watch the Snake Eyes film. I can't believe Hannah something said this is how he always saw Snake Eyes. Wonder how much cash he took.
Larry Hama. Oh, okay. That's a surprise because he wrote most of that original stuff.
Oh, okay.
He wrote a lot in the comics, correct? And then he also created all the file cards. So I don't know. You got to keep that cash flow going. I mean, he is on the autograph circuit.
Yeah, Master Mexico can't believe we watched it. He told us it was bad. I am painting aside.
Free.
LPH, would you like to paint the giant He-Mans along with? Yeah, that's what I was trying to get in touch with you, but you were going through your situation because after I got it, I was trying to get in touch with you to ask you how and to ask if we can paint it together. So I will contact you after this on Facebook.
Okay.
And we can set up a date and time and do our own little live stream because I wanted to ask you also, what are you doing with the tire? Every time I ask you, you're always talking and you miss my question.
Yeah.
I think I figured it out from the last live stream because I saw the boards inside the tire. So I'm thinking you're making a shelf. I'm guessing.
Masters Maniac Mexico has a channel.
And he does projects on his channel where he painted this huge mural on the wall. He does he made swords, like accessories for his figures and different things like that. So if you catch his channel, he does live streams of him doing these different projects. So that's what we were talking about there. But yeah, I would definitely contact you after that because I wanted to set something up like that with you.
Robert says Apache Chief and Samurai. That's correct.
What are you talking about?
The names of the characters from Super Friends, the two that they made up for the show, and then Zan and Jane and Gleep.
Samurai was a tornado guy, and Apache Chief.
Yeah.
The Mystery of Batwoman was okay, but it was just the one time watch for me. Diversity in comic products always works.
Not necessarily.
No. They gave homage to Samurai and Apache Chief in Young Justice, which is one of my favorite animated shows. I hate Batwoman, The Dark Knight Returns, and Flashpoint Paradox for DC Animated was fantastic as well. The DC Animated guys should direct the DC Universe films. The animated movies are pretty good. I'm liking them. And I'm not a big fan of Superman, but I've seen so far 2 of the Supermans, and I like the animated. I never cared for the Christopher Reeves. I like the guy. What's his name? The young guy that's doing it now.
Where?
The Superman. He's the Superman now.
Oh,
what's his name? He
Henry
good looking.
Cavill?
Yeah. I saw his. I like his. I think the Flash movie should be canceled because Ezra Miller. His role needs to be recast. Miller is a bad person.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that is.
Let me see. Who else here? Sub-Zero says Larry Hama has lost so much respect with his woke stuff. I don't know what else he's been doing, but yeah, it's a shame. It's kind of surprising to see how much of an about face a lot of people will make when they want to keep that money flowing. You saw Mick Foley get in trouble just recently with his Twitter comments about how because Elon Musk bought it out, that I don't know how much longer I'll be able to be in here because blah blah blah, and everybody's like, seriously, Mick?
But I don't know why. Shut up. Well, we're not going to get on that.
Yeah, we don't want to get too deep in that.
Yeah, because this channel is all about toys and collecting, not about politics. David has another channel about that, so I'll talk about that some other time.
No channel.
No
more channels.
No more channels. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Okay, you did a Hot Wheels diorama. Okay, that's what you're doing. Johnny Future, were you talking about Under the Red Hood? Under the Red Hood movie was good.
And Matthew says that Lady Pop Hunter looks fine. He wants to know if older comic book nerds try to steal you away at the shows.
No. Ezra Miller played the Flash in the Justice League. I didn't see the Justice League movies. We tried watching one, but it wouldn't play. Didn't we try to watch the one with Affleck, and it wouldn't play? You remember?
The Justice League. I could never get the Justice League to stream.
Yeah,
never.
Because we tried to get it to come up, and it wouldn't come up, so I never seen it. Oh. So let's see. Something else you wanted to talk about?
I don't know that package, but I brought that up at the beginning, and I never got back to it. Because you'll see it on the next unboxing video. I got that. I got a couple of packages from somebody, and there was a hole punched clean through it.
Oh,
it wasn't the guy's fault because he packed it well enough. It was the oh, here we go with this stuff.
I know. Yeah, go ahead. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna get rid of
the bots
or whatever.
Wow,
it's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Get rid of that.
Let's see. Report. Okay, go ahead. You keep on talking.
And it was a hole punched clean through it. And it was done by the post office.
Oof.
Something heavy had landed on it and punched a hole like clean through it.
David's distracted because I'm trying to delete this thing here.
Yeah, I don't know how that thanks for keeping us safe there.
YouTube.
Screwtube. Thanks for nothing.
It's
kind of like the same thing at Facebook the same way. It's full of, try to buy any of those ads where they advertise where they're selling you products, a company selling products, not like Facebook Marketplace, but the ads, most of those ads are scams. They're scams, and it's like on this you get a ton of bots, and it's like you claim to keep everybody safe, but you kick them in the teeth. It's incredible.
Oh, Johnny asked if we've seen Death in the Family. I have Death in the Family. I tried to buy as many of the animated Batman movies. A lot of them are on Blu-ray. We don't have a Blu-ray because Batman Hush is on Blu-ray. I can't find it anywhere else. But I did find Death in the Family, and I did find, I think it's Batman versus Robin. So I did find that. So we have a bunch that we have in queue, and we watch that once a week on Saturdays. So we're going to be watching those, and so far, like I said, they're really good. I really like those. And Robert wants to see a Rescue Rangers movie. And the Russian ladies are here, says Mess in Mexico.
Darren says a bunch of trolls in the chat. No, it's I don't know where that comes from.
No, those links of websites. Anybody want to see that?
Robert, who is it? No, Kaiser says Facebook ads are from cookies on your browser collecting your data. Well, they collect on the wrong damn data because it shows me ads for stuff that I have never shown an interest in. I'm like, what the hell is this crap? Yeah, I often think that they make a lot of mistakes with that.
Not just in the advertising. I think they're trying to introduce you to things that you might not know of, and then you'll be curious to click on it.
I don't want to know.
That's what I think they're doing.
Some of the stuff they show us is like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and then you'd be like, oh, let's introduce them to something new, and then they'll get curious and be like, what is this? And then you click on it, and then
I click. Don't ever show me this ad again. Is what I click. I don't like using Facebook anyway. I only really do it for the group, for the Open by Chance group on the Facebook.
Occam's Raver says, David, a raw G.I. Joe keeps jumping up and up in price, it seems. I don't get the steals I use frequently. Do you see it going higher for a long time, or when our generation gets older, dying off?
I mean, it'll probably level off eventually, but yeah, it's been going up a lot. But when did it start going up? After the toys that made us. And it brought a lot of speculation into it. Was already expensive. Star Wars 2 and Masters of the Universe 2 and all that stuff. But when the toys that made us came out, and it brought a lot of what I call speculative collectors into the market, and they're buying the stuff because, they're looking at it as an investment rather than something that they actually are nostalgic for or care about. And it makes it harder on everybody else, especially when it gets to the point where that does start to level off, and they're going to sell it off, and it's going to flood the market, and then it's going to drive prices down.
Jose said he just bought a condo and he's moving in 2 weeks, and no more collecting for a while. And I have a lot in storage that I can finally see. Well, good for you.
Well, that's good though.
Now you can pull them out and rearrange, dust it off and put it up really nice and take pictures and just enjoy it and see, man, I forgot I had this. Out of all of the new stuff, I'm really loving this 1/6 Star Trek. That's what Robert says.
Oh, okay. Not from QMX. QMX lost the license. It's another company making them now. But yeah, they look interesting. I'm not getting any though. It's another rabbit hole I don't need to go down. HM wants to know if I've seen the Sandman trailer. No, I did not see that. One of his favorite comics. I hope they do a good job. Good luck. Because Sandman is an interesting storyline, but it would be real easy for them to muck it up, to make a mess out of that.
David LPH, not going forward but back. What stuff would you like to get? I kind of like those old McFarlane Lego type Walking Dead figures. I like the prison set.
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
I don't remember that.
But what old stuff you want to get?
I don't know. If I could go back, I'd like to pick up a set of the LJN Dune. I never really had any Dune figures.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they look awful now though. I don't think there is a carded Dune figure that hasn't turned yellow. The plastic on it was so badly done.
What properties would you like Super 7 to make figures of?
Huh?
I'm
reading the thing.
Yeah. What properties would you like to see
Super 7 to make figures of? Well, I don't collect anything from Super 7.
I collect their stuff.
But I don't know. They get a dip in everything at this point. Yeah. They're starting to. I'm wondering if they're getting too big for their britches. I worry about it because all of these companies, NECA, Mezco, Hot Toys, Sideshow, they all start off being like, we're buy collectors and for collectors, including Super 7. oh yeah, we're all collectors and we love this stuff. When the money starts rolling in, the tune changes. And
But they still make good stuff.
they're
Well,
still making yeah, they're
good
still making
stuff.
pretty fair stuff. But will they get too big for their britches and then start not listening to fans anymore, start making inferior product? It makes me nervous.
Master Magnetism says that he used a makeup brush on his Hot Toys. Yep.
It does work. It works really well.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny says he read this. Sid and Marty Krofft want to do Land of the Lost again. Oh, yeah, and they screwed up the first series when they didn't pay the actors. The second series in the '90s didn't do well, and the movie was terrible. It didn't just flop; it was terrible. If they brought it back and they couldn't get the same kind of good story writing that they had with the original series, it'd be a waste of time.
And Arkham want to know, did Warren do the Kane County
yeah, Toy Show?
Did.
He was there.
He was
and
there.
Right now he's at a show in
Louisiana.
I can't remember the name of the show. It's
he sent us the
Saturday and Sunday show in some kind of kaiju show or something like that in Louisiana. So he gets around, but yeah, he was at the Kane County in the poultry room.
I collect Star Wars vintage and retro collection and Marvel's 3.75, and I'm not happy about Hasbro's no plastic plans. My collecting might be coming to an end.
That's just something that they're doing to act like they're doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the environment. Everybody's doing this whole environment.
I'll tell you a secret from when I used to work in manufacturing.
What?
Okay, because remember I used to work for Frito-Lay. There is a type of transparent plastic that can be made from corn syrup.
Oh, okay.
And it's 100% biodegradable. If you put it, here's the other secret. Biodegradable doesn't mean anything if you throw it in the trash, because nothing breaks down in a landfill because there's no oxygen when they compress it. All right. Surprise, biodegradable, big deal. When they crush it down into the landfill, you can dig it up in 100 years. It'll look like you threw it away yesterday. It won't break down. But if you were to leave it on the side of the road, if you had a plastic bottle made out of this corn syrup material and you threw it on the side of the road, in 120 days, it'll start breaking down. So they can do it, and it's not that expensive. They just don't want to. All right, don't let them fool you, because I've seen was it Powerade? Because Pepsi owns the Powerade too, and they were experimenting with making bottles out of it, but it cost like a hair more than the plastic, so they gave up.
Jose said he used a VA loan to get his condo. That's good. Good way to save on a down payment.
Yeah.
I started work on your custom figure, guys. Bought the base figures. Okay, great. We can't wait to see it. Let's see, where am I? I wish Super 7 had better articulation. I got Super 7 did everything I wanted at the time. So
yeah,
right now they're still doing Thundercats. So I have everything from Thundercats still on pre-order, and they still have some Ninja Turtles on pre-order because I started buying the Super 7 Ninja Turtles because I couldn't get the NECA ones. But right now it's nothing else they have, or nothing else out there that I really want. I mean, I would like a Strawberry Shortcake house.
The original Kenner.
Yeah, the original one. And I want to finish my Care Bears line, but I don't really want nothing else too much. I want Super 7 to make V figures. Were there ever V figures made?
Yeah, there's one sitting right there. Huh? LJN made it.
Oh, they made V?
And there was a South American company that made some of the 3 3/4 inch ones, like the ones you saw in the movie or in the show. They made those. And they're really, really insane to find. But LJN made a 12-inch version.
I remember seeing
they used Michael Jackson's body from when they made the Michael Jackson. I'm waiting for that to load because it's got a picture of the show that he's at. I'll show it to you if you've never seen it. Right here.
Johnny says it's for collectors by collectors until it turns into $14,000.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm surprised Mezco doesn't have Star Wars license. Scared. Okay, Robert and Jose is talking about buying a house, using a VA loan, and doing all of this and that.
Take
Robert,
it where you can get it.
You can't be afraid to buy a house. If you are buy a townhouse, then you still feel like you're in an apartment, but it'll be something that you own. You won't be giving somebody else rent money.
See, that
looks like Stan Lee.
No, that looks like what was his name? Donovan's contact on board the ship.
No, but I mean like the face with the glasses.
Yeah.
It looked like Stan Lee.
But that's who it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They just don't name him. Remember Donovan was on the show when he had the one guy who was
he was like a
leader of the resistance, but the alien resistance. And this figure body, because you see how like the one hand, see the way the hands are shaped, that's actually the microphone hand, because this same body mold minus the head was used by them for like Michael Jackson, I think the MC Hammer body. They did Vanilla Ice too, right? I think this body was used a ton of times by LJN. But that's basically the V figure, the American version.
Link says, I would love some modern cops and crooks figures. The vintage ones have really shot up.
Oh yeah, the Hasbro, and they're made like GI Joe figures, but they're like 5 inches instead of 3 3/4. I can't get it to load. I was going to show you the name of the show that he's at, but I can't get it to load on my phone. It's acting stupid.
Arkham said he laughed when we did the Faded Nostalgia, and you said they went to Walmart and bought some Gordon's fish. They did. We were at some restaurant, and David he eat fish, and you can look at it and tell. And they did. They went out and bought the Gordon's fish.
You could tell that it was like TV dinner stuff. I was like, you got to be shitting me.
Let me see. Magnetism said, I love Super 7 to get the license for the Tick and the Mask. I like the Mask show. We've been watching that on and off, and we're going to put that in
Mask
our
wasn't bad
rotation. Yeah.
And I think it's kind of fascinating that they did something completely opposite with Mayhem, Miles Mayhem. His crew actually respects him, and he's not awful to his crew. You know how like Cobra Commander hates everybody except Zartan.
Yeah,
he's always yelling at everybody, threatening everybody, double crossing everybody, and you see that with a lot of villains. Miles Mayhem, it's like, hey boss, I did this and this. Good work. Let's move on. He praises them. They work well together. They're obedient. They stand by him. If they screw up, he doesn't disown them or anything. He was like, come on, we'll get you out of there. He's like a real leader. I got to give them credit with the way that's written, because that's rare in with those things. There's certain nuances in villains that I think are interesting. It'd be an interesting topic, like Mum-Ra. I love Mum-Ra. Mum-Ra, he messes with a lot of people, but have you ever seen him break a deal? If you watch Thundercats, if you make a deal with Mum-Ra, he'll keep it.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's when they double cross him on the deal, that's when he screws them over.
HM says Beta Ray Bill was a nice addition to your collection. Yeah. I anticipate seeing him on screen.
That restored really well. That was like several grades increase for Beta Ray Bill. I was like, wow, that came out great.
Out of Sight says, hey.
Hey, out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, Robert is still going on about buying a house. You got to stop being so scary, Robert, and just jump in.
It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna fail at it. You won't fail. Just do it.
Out of Sight says he thinks Funko did make some V pops. That's correct.
Oh yeah, I ain't getting none. Life stuff always takes out the joy. By the way, you get strawberry shortcake.
Occam says, is $350 a good price of the LJN V figure box? I think that's a little steep.
That sounds high.
Off the top of my head, again, and I'll tell this to anybody, go to eBay, go to their completed auctions, because they'll retain completed auctions for 60 days. And you look up something on the completed auctions list to gauge what it sold for, to get a fair market value concept of what something is actually worth.
And also don't forget Macari and Etsy does sell action figures.
Yeah.
So always look there. Also, sometimes on Macari you can find it cheaper, and you can always make an offer on Macari. Etsy, you can't really make an offer, but sometimes they'll have figures on there. So always just check it out.
I never saw the V remake, just the original series. And there was 3 because they had a made-for-TV movie. They had a second made-for-TV or miniseries, a second made-for-TV miniseries, and then 1 season of an actual television show.
That's when it got kind of dumb.
Every time they moved forward from the original miniseries, which was a very political, because the person who wrote it was really protesting Nazi Germany. It was talking about that type of government and how it worms its way in and fools people and then just takes over suddenly. That's really what the series is about. And that message is very strong in the original miniseries and very well written. But every time they expanded on it beyond the original writer's story, it got weirder and weirder.
Yeah, so it started losing a lot of its
So it doesn't
flavor.
surprise me the remake wasn't good.
Okay.
Mum-Ra was awesome. Master of Magnetism says Mum-Ra creeps me out. That voice actor is phenomenal.
Master Mexico loved this channel. He didn't know that there were figures. Michael Ironside made V even better.
Oh yeah, he was a good actor.
Johnny and Robert and Jose is talking about refinancing, buying a house, the VA loan. Robert says Super 7 should do V figures, we said.
Yeah.
I wish Mexico would make Dark Man. I wish somebody would make Dark Shadows. And they make Dark Shadows and make more of the characters. Because the original Biff Bang Pow did Dark Shadows, but they did Angelique, Barnabas, the Wolfman, and I think that's it. Maybe one more character, but I mean they didn't do like Mrs. Collins or
yeah, they only did
Victoria
a couple
and all of that.
And then those are like stupid expensive now.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. So I wish a company, if I could say, oh, I wanted Super 7 to do something, I wish Super 7 or somebody, a 1/6 scale figure, not Mezco, because then it'd be 1/12. Somebody would do Dark Shadows figures. I would like that.
And when he says Dark Man, you're talking about the Liam Neeson Dark Man? That movie, the first one was good. They didn't need 4. And Liam Neeson wasn't in but the first one. It's kind of like when they made Crow 2 and 3. It's kind of pointless. You know how it is in Hollywood. We can make more money off of this, and no, you can't. Or Kickboxer 2, 3, and 4, unnecessary completely. But yeah, the original Darkman's a fun movie, especially the carnival scene. I get a kick out of the carnival scene where he breaks the carney's fingers.
Let's see. William Randall said, why hasn't anyone made Johnny 5 toy figures from Short Circuit?
I have no idea.
And
somebody will do it sooner or later.
Black Knight. Hey, Black Knight, how are you?
Black Knight 710. Thanks for joining us. Is another guy who has his own channel.
Yep, great channel. Go check him out. He does a lot of going to the stores and buying a lot of figures. He do toys, store tours. That's what I'm trying to say. Like Walmart and Walgreens and stuff like that. So
he wants to. Who is it? Master of Magnetism wants to know what I would. Is it Master of Magnetism or who? Kaiser Kaiju. What would I look like as an 80s like this? Buck Hunter.
Oh boy.
Buck Hunter. That's it. Buck Hunter.
We have more unwanted spam, so I am going to delete that for you guys, so we won't have.
No, my superhero name is Crash.
Crash
Landing.
Don't listen to him. We watched a movie.
Crash Landing.
And I think the name of the movie was Crash Landing.
Crash Landing.
About this airplane. These kids were on the plane. They were supposed to go to Australia.
Yeah.
And somebody hijacks
the plane.
And
it was
and
like
all of that.
it was like a really bad version of Die Hard, but on a plane.
Yeah.
I was like, I want that to be my new name. Crash Landing. What are we gonna do, Crash? Hang on, ladies, we're coming down hard. Crash is here. Crash Landing.
I can't believe you're doing this on for the world to see. I want to get Dark Shadows complete series on DVD, but it is very expensive. Oh my, yeah, it is. But you can find it on Tubi.
And there's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, it's like 1 million seasons, but it is on Tubi because I did look it up to buy it, but it's expensive, so I just watch it free on Tubi, and it gets kind of annoying.
It can get tedious at times.
Yeah, when Angelique is on there, really.
Watch out, you're about to get a visitor.
When Angelique gets on there, it really gets kind of hard to watch, and you have to be.
You just
careful.
want her to die.
But then she dies and comes back. She keeps coming back. So then you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
So, but it is a good show. Oh, wait a minute. Nah, I gotta go back up because it was something. Master Mexico, just remembering that I found watching V as a kid very real for me. We had the tense climate of thread every day during Cold War. Spam alert. Yeah, we got them all.
I think we mopped them all up.
I think so.
JG, hello. Hope you two are well. David, do you like the new G.I. Joe figures? Hello, JG. Which ones, from Super 7 or from the Classified series? I like both of those series, but I didn't want to get the Super 7 because I didn't want to jump off into another line. And the Classifieds, I just kind of hung my hat. I was getting them, and it was just too much of a pain in the butt to track them down. I don't want to pay 5 times the price aftermarket. And I was like, okay, I'm just done, because Hasbro has plans, or they've already got designs for figures for the next 3 years. So they just haven't revealed them all yet. But that's a lot of figures, and they're going to keep going with it.
Yeah, Master Mexico, we did see Threads. That is a one-time watch.
It's a good film.
It's very good, but boy,
it's sad.
Ooh,
it's funny at times, and then it's sad also. But yeah,
no, Threads wasn't funny. That's not the cartoon.
Oh, I'm thinking of the other one. Threads.
Threads was the one.
The British show.
The nuclear fallout.
Yeah,
and the girl had the baby at the end.
Yeah, Threads is hard to watch.
Oh God, it was a good movie though, but boy,
I was thinking of the animated.
I don't know the name
nuclear
of that.
war one. I keep
forgetting it. It was the old couple in the house in the animated film, and they thought the government was going to come and get them. They're coming to get us.
Yeah, we'll be all right. They'll be here any minute.
That was sad.
It was sad, but they had some real humorous moments.
They did,
because they were like goofy old fuddy-duddy couple.
Yeah, Robert, I do have strawberry shortcake figures.
I think he means the new action figures from like Boss Fight or whoever made them.
I ain't getting that. That's too expensive.
They're nice, but
they're nice, but they're too expensive. And you can get the old ones
for a little bit more.
Yeah, around about the same price.
Yeah, because you're for the average boxed vintage Kenner strawberry shortcake figures, which there's about 4 or 5 different boxed versions of each.
Yeah,
but you're going to pay between like $50 to $100 for it. It's damn near close enough.
Someone made a Johnny 5 a while back in 1/6 scale figures. I wish they would remake the Phantom. Love that character. The 90s film was crappy. Oh, it was campy.
Yeah.
The original Batman style hero. I mean, for sure, we are some hot boys around here, but we are not interested in buying some. Glad for that. Let's see, where am I now? Harrison Ford's nickname should be Launchpad McQuack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, from DuckTales. We need David as Crash Landing.
Yeah, Crash Landing. Crash. Just call me Crash.
I'm shocked neither of you guys got into sectars from Coleco. You got some sectars.
I used to have sectars as part of the collection that was stolen. But yeah, I love the sectars, and I would totally do that again. Sectars, and I got some carded Rambo Coleco figures, but yeah, I would love to jump off into sectars again if I can find a good deal. Prices is hard. You know, like we were saying earlier, I mean, you see like this huge pile of stuff back here and it goes on, but that's taken years and a lot of deals and trades and, you know, finagling, and it's not easy. It wasn't easy.
And Johnny's saying that when he went to the Funko headquarters, he got his own personalized custom Johnny Future Pop.
That's correct. Yeah, because you can do that at the Funko headquarters.
Master Magnetism saw that Hot Toys is teasing around with R2D2 and C3PO.
Again, more of them?
What if Strawberry Shortcake crossover with G.I. Joe?
Don't joke about it, because they had a crossover with Transformers and My Little Pony, didn't they?
They did.
So it's not outside the realm of possibility for Hasbro to pull crap like that.
Super 7 G.I. Joe reaction is a step back 5
points of articulation.
Kenner style. Swivel arm, battle grip, put a raw on the net, O-ring, and the 5 points of articulation. No, thank you.
Well, they can't, because now O-ring is back with Hasbro, which the first introduction of that was with the Sky Striker project from HasLab. But
Hey, Rome Ross.
Where they're getting off with it is, one, making figures that haven't been done, and two, the card art, because they're doing classic G.I. Joe looking card art. Oh, Rome Ross is there.
And Robert is terrified of nuclear stuff, so he don't like movies about nuclear.
Oh, wow. Well,
let's see. Been a while. I'm still making statues. Okay, he's still. Oh, you make statues? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hot Toys making Attack clones. Oh.
Attack of the Clones, R2D2 and C3PO, I guess.
I wonder when Mondo will come out with my 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe figures. They seemed quite lately.
Yeah, they backed off. I think they got some backlash over that, over the last one, because they teased Hordak for 2 years, and then when it came out, it was disappointing.
Oh yeah,
I did a review on that. I wasn't happy with it.
And, they saw your review. That's what happened.
I doubt it. But and I got the best one of the bunch, because I got the Filmation version, and I was just like, wow, for the price, you know, this is not that great. I like the Mondo Masters of the Universe figures. I've been liking them so far. I reviewed all of them that I could get my hands on, but then that one, I was just like, wow, I don't know, man. That's making me nervous about their next ones, because they have designs for Trapjaw, She-Ra, what was the other one? Battle Cat. They're going to do a Battle Cat. I mean, they get a few pieces that they've been teasing, but they usually space them about 6 months apart, unless they throw something out there like they did with Keldor.
Well, they didn't do nothing since they did that Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, they didn't get back to Universal Monsters, and they've got the license.
Yeah, I got that because, like I said, I wanted a 1/6 scale Universal Monsters, but then they didn't do nothing after that, and now I'm kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, we read that. Only thing I'm getting is the Marvel retro figures, trying to get them all. Only thing cheap. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, G.I. Joe crossed over with Transformers back in the day with Marvel Comics. It was a decent story of Cobra Commander help rebuild Megatron. Good storyline. Okay.
Yeah, and they're doing that now anyways, crossing over the toy lines together.
And Wayne want to know if I saw the new Masters of the Universe style wrestling figures. Yeah, I guess they're coming back out with that. They're kind of backed off from that for a while.
Yeah, they're getting back to it.
We get more spam, so give me a minute. Y'all keep talking.
That's incredible.
I know. They don't quit. And then you keep on saying, you know, put them in timeout, report them.
You report them for what?
Yeah, because
it still comes back. Hide user. and then they still make it back in with the same
the same stuff,
same username and everything.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Okay, so hopefully we'll get them from. I think I got them this time. We'll see.
Yeah.
Saw Day After. Oh, you saw The Day After Tomorrow. That one was pretty good.
Yeah, that was like an ABC broadcast, right?
Yeah.
In
that one came in the
1984 or something.
where Russia launched the bombs.
Yeah.
And it hit
we launched on
like
each other.
St. Louis or something.
I forget.
But I was hoping to jump on the Thunder Punch He-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw they making a new like box of the 40th anniversary He-Man. You know, they redid the box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same figures all over again.
Robert says he's finally getting his Big Chief Studios Flash Gordon. 2 years. Yeah, no kidding. I like that one. I never jumped off on it though. I went ahead and got the third and fourth Doctor, which I did the review on the third Doctor. But I don't think I'm going to get anything else from Big Chief Studios. It's too slow, and they're expensive. They're real expensive. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Troll Central.
I never Lonan, I never played Fallout. I never actually played that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your and predictions, feedbacks, and all.
Well, we tried.
Waiting for Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Big Chief is slow. It's always that slow. Every piece, because I've gotten 2 pieces from them, which was the Captain Scarlet and the John Pertwee Doctor Who, the third Doctor, and both of them were delayed at least 3 times and put off for months and months and months. It was like a damn near an extra year waiting for him, and now Tom Baker is delayed and delayed and delayed.
Yeah, so that's what Robert said. Can't wait to see it, because I have some statues, 2 statues on pre-order, and I think I ordered them before COVID, I believe. And you know, they can't really say nothing about it sitting in the middle of the Pacific Ocean anymore, I don't think.
No, they can't use that excuse
anymore. That was an excuse for a while. Every time you open up the computer, it says something about how things are delayed due to the virus and everything, and you know, products will be delayed. But I think that's kind of freed up. So I don't know why it's delayed. It seems like they should give you a partial refund or a extra accessory or something.
Good luck with that.
But they don't guarantee that it'll be done. They just give you an approximate date.
Yeah. And where is it? Yeah, Monster says that Big Chief James Bond is tempting. Yeah, the James Bonds look good. They did the Commander Koenig from Space 1999. He's right here. That's the original Mattel one. But yeah, they look good. But and I was tempted with Koenig too, and I was like, no, you know what? I don't want to wait 3 years for it and pay like X amount of dollars, and I don't know. I didn't want to do it anymore.
Sequential wants to know what we thought of Moon Knight. We don't have Disney Plus.
Nope.
So you know, if somebody in the room seen it, you could chime in, tell Sequential what you thought of it, but we never saw it. Your John Pertwee is beautiful.
Yeah, it was a really well done figure, and the accessories are interesting. Even the magnifying glass that he's holding actually works. You know, a lot of detail went into that John Pertwee.
The delays are because of the government. The one guy here in Georgia said delays are due to shipping containers. The shipping containers are what did he say? Is it a lack?
Shipping container people in Georgia are suffering because shipping container companies are price gouging.
Oh yeah.
Shut up,
Warnock. They're charging you too much for the shipping containers. It's like, dude, the shipping containers have nothing to do with why we can't get goods.
Are they manufactured in Georgia? I don't think so. Are they wherever they're most likely manufactured overseas? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So shut up.
Robert says he saw a movie where John Pertwee,
you know this movie,
was in a Dracula cape and turns to a vampire tried to give a girl a hickey. What movie was that?
You remember the one? It's John Pertwee. You know him if you saw him, but he was an actor in the movie, and he went into a curio shop because he's looking for an authentic cape, and he found one, but then the cape possessed him.
Oh yeah, I remember. Wasn't that on? That wasn't a movie. Was it a movie or was it?
I think it was part of it was like one of those Tales from the Crypt, like 70s films or something like that, where they had like 3 or 4 different stories. Tom Baker was in one of those too. He was the artist.
I remember.
And he kept he was keeping the painting inside the safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, do you have the MASH action? You don't have the.
I don't have not anymore.
You got 2.
I do not.
Are those like MASH?
Though there are 2 MASH figures. Those 2 MASH figures were made by Durham in 1978, based on the movie.
Oh.
You might can you see them from here? No, I don't think you can. But they were made. Durham made 2 of them based on the film back in the 70s. And that other thing up there is a MASH toy, but it's not from TriStar. I used to have the TriStar figures. I don't anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Sequential said we never should have outsourced. Yeah, we outsourced the whole country. Nothing is produced in America.
Yeah, that's the trouble. It's caused a lot of problems for the United States over the years.
A lot of TikTok videos are produced in America.
If you want to watch girls going like this all day
and twerking all over the place. That's what David said. All they do is twerk.
Every time I see an ad for TikTok, that's all it is a bunch of girls doing stuff like this. I'm like, they're making money for that? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah,
all you gotta do is cut your head off and show from your neck down. So nobody will know it's you. And you might get 1 million views.
Oh my God.
Let's see. I still have 2 pre-orders waiting forever. The droid, R2-D2, and Boba Fett. I only hope C-3PO delivers so far. I only have the C-3PO. Well, yeah, China is in lockdown. Didn't you see the people in Shanghai screaming throughout the city and public workers hitting owners' dogs with hammers? Wow. But glad any toys are coming, my friend.
China's always been rough on its people.
I have had my job outsourced 4 times since 2004. Tech support stuff. You wouldn't believe what I get in my 7 hours Bob Ross painting streams. One should think that this would not be a place for that type of buzz, but it always has around 50.
I think they have a deal with YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they were making money off it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Because I mean, it's like almost every time we're on the live stream, you see some like silly bots in there trying to sell you something or get you to go to the thing.
Robert said he couldn't stand MASH when he was a kid, but he likes it now. And it's like, yeah, because your tastes change when you grow up and you understand it better. It makes more sense.
Yeah, what they're talking about makes sense because we're watching a bunch of shows now. And it's like, man, when we were a kid, we didn't know that this was funny or that this made sense. Or shows that you liked, we tried to watch again. And it's like, man, this is stupid. How could I have ever watched this?
Yeah, how did I ever tolerate this? But yeah, but you were younger and you weren't as mature. I'm not answering that, Donovan. But, and you grow up and then you watch the show again and it changes. It changes for you. And I've talked about that with a good comparison is All in the Family and Sanford and Son. Because when you watch it as a kid, you think that Archie and Fred are just bastards. Yeah. You're like, oh, they're awful. But when you're an adult and you watch it, you realize, okay, wait a minute. Both of these guys, they're grumpy old men, but they're being triggered.
Yeah.
Mike is triggering Archie all the time, setting him off on purpose. And Fred's son, Lamont, triggers him all the time. He's rude to him, insults him, threatens him. And then, what's Fred going to do? he gets pissed off and he starts insulting him back. But both of those guys are triggered. The antigen on those shows is Lamont and Mike, not Archie and Fred. You know, it's real different when you grow up and you start putting it together, and it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute.
Let's see. Magnetism says, I would love for Hot Toys to release the Planet of the Apes classic figures with Charlton Heston. And Robert is praying for the world to get his act together.
Keep praying.
A lot of horrible stuff is happening. Yeah, a lot of horrible stuff is happening. And Graphic Man has joined us, and
Welcome
so is
aboard.
Patrick.
Patrick says he got Nick Casey Jones and April O'Neil. Did you find it in the store? I hope you found it in the store. Got a good price for it. Occam said, I don't collect much modern, but I wanted that Elvira NECA figure. I can't find it in the wild anywhere. I love Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I wasn't interested in it, but I don't recall seeing it out anywhere either. Quite frankly.
And Master Mexico says that he can't stand to watch Friends, but he likes Cheers. I always liked Cheers. As a kid, I liked Cheers. Yeah. Except for when
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley got on there.
Kirstie Alley.
God, it just immediately just got bad when she got on there. But I thought when the coach was on there, it was funny. He died, and it was still good all the way up until Kirstie Alley came, and then it just went downhill.
Yeah.
I can't find the cartoon Casey for a decent price. Very interesting. I love Sanford and Son.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's different when you grow up and you watch it. You're like, okay, wait a minute. I saw this all wrong when I was a kid.
Darren says his dad loved All in the Family, and now he likes it too.
Some of it's real funny. One of my favorite scenes from All in the Family is the one where Mike is in trouble with Gloria, and so they can't be in their room together. So she sleeps with Mom, and then Mike sleeps in Archie's room. And then he gets stuck in the cot. He's sleeping in a cot. He gets stuck, and the cot breaks. So he gets out and he slips into the bed with Archie. But then he spills a glass of water, and Archie thought he wet himself. That was hilarious. Because you know how Carol O'Connor is when he starts flipping out. Carol O'Connor was great in those scenes. And that whole scene is just hilarious. Oh, Edwin, where you been? Edwin Vasquez.
Yeah, I see him. I waved at him.
Oh.
You were talking.
I see.
I just finished watching all episodes of Sanford and Son. The show really made me laugh. Better than today. I like Aunt Esther. I hated not all of it. Sanford and Son. I didn't like how Fred used to talk to Lamont. I thought it was mean. He always called him Big Dummy and everything. And I always hated that.
Now you know why, though.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't watched it since I was a kid, because I still, in my mind, I still can't stand to see that. But if I rewatched it, it would probably make sense, like David said. But I always liked Esther, so I always thought Aunt Esther was funny. Okay, Germany's Archie Bunker is called, I don't even know what that says. It need my weekly of disillusion and sharp sarcasm. So I still love these shows.
And Darren says Friends was always doing sexual situation, and that gets old. Yeah, you can't just beat that to death. I watched like a couple of episodes.
I've never watched one episode of Friends
when it was on, and I was like, this isn't very good. And I didn't really want to bother. Yeah, Donovan, I remember the Sammy Davis Jr. episode because Sammy Davis Jr. kissed Archie.
MASH Overseas left out the laugh track, which gave the show a whole different experience. Okay, they left out the laugh track. Kirstie Alley is a Scientologist like Tom Cruise. Man, how do these actors get into these cults? Ron Hubbard was a science fiction writer.
He was, and he even once said that in an interview before Scientology, I ought to get into religion. That's where the real money is. Quote.
Okay, so you read
Mark
that one from
Mark Franco. Hey, guys from Cape Cod.
And he said Mark. The same thing. Sammy Davis Jr. kissed.
He remembers that episode, yeah.
And Jose, I'm glad I got my Bad Batch 4-pack. It keeps moving. Oh, no, people came back. It doesn't matter how much we block them.
And
I'm
it's
gonna
the
block them.
same. And it's the same.
I don't know. I guess we should just
username.
let it go.
No, just take it off anyway. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying. It gets on your nerves. It's like all we trying to do is just sit and have have a good time.
Thanks a lot for keeping us safe, YouTube.
Yeah, remember
Jerks.
Archie's place? My wife and I went to Phoenix. Okay, hope you had a good time. Do you remember Archie's place?
Yeah, that was the sequel.
Okay.
So after Edith died on the show.
Okay. Oh, Jose, I was trying to read his. I'm glad I got the Bad Bunch 4-pack, the last figure I bought before saving for furnishing my own place for the first time. Okay, great. Archie, isn't that the episode where they argue about how to put on your shoes? I don't know. That's Johnny Future. Talking about the Archie Bunker show.
Oh, arguing how to put on your shoes. What, the one I was talking about? They were having an argument about whether or not you should tuck yourself in when you go to bed.
Oh.
Because Mike insisted that's how he got trapped in the cot. Because he's no, you got to tuck it in, and he was like, no, he says you leave a flap open so in case something happens like a fire, you can just jump out of bed. And he was like, Archie, that's stupid. But then when he went to bed in the cot, and he tucked himself in, a spring broke and he dropped, and he needed to get out, and he went nuts trying to get out of there because it was tucked in too much and he was trapped under his weight.
How do you remember all that?
I don't know.
Has an A-team ever come to the 6-scale world? I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so. I don't know if I don't think the A-team has been done except in pop form since Galoob made them. Although no, Galoob did make a 6th scale B.A. Baracus.
Oh, did they?
Mr. T. They made a standard and a talking version. He very limited articulation, solid plastic, and he did have like a couple of carded accessory packs to go with that figure.
Yeah. Who remembers BJ and the Bear?
I remember that show. Truck driver with a chimpanzee.
And Mark says he's done with pre-orders because he's tired of the weight game.
I don't blame you. It's frustrating.
I am too.
We were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
You have people waiting years for stuff. I'm still waiting for Tom Baker. Probably like almost 2 years now before I get it.
Yeah, and that helped me make my decision on putting my collecting on pause. I mean, it was a lot of factors. That was one of them. Putting things on pre-order, having it take a year or more, and when the virus came out, they said that okay, things are backed up, and you could believe it. You're like, oh, the world's halfway coming to an end, but now everything
it seemed.
Yeah. Now everything is kind of ironed out, and you still don't have your stuff. And even before that, it was a weight game. And now it still is a weight game.
That's why I point out that Big Chief Studios was famous for delays even before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, William. Playmobil did make A-Team. I forgot about that recently.
Here comes, you talk about the spam.
Occam's Razor. Who remembers Lee Majors in The Fall Guy? Absolutely.
We started watching The Fall Guy for a while.
It's not a bad show at all.
We started watching The Fall Guy and MacGyver and Incredible Hulk, but I couldn't do Incredible Hulk.
And I want to say it was Tonka made a 3 3/4 inch Fall Guy action figure. They made one with a truck and they made one with an airplane.
Occam says he got the Remco Defense Force soldier with Isaac from the Love Boat's head last week.
Isaac from the Love Boat, that was a Mego action figure.
Oh, was it?
1980 made Love Boat action figures. Back when nobody, I mean, what kid in the 80s wanted to play with Love Boat figures? It's just, I was joking about it once before because I was like, you could get the boat playset and your little Love Boat action figures from Mego and have G.I. Joe rescue them. You could pretend like the ship was taken over by terrorists.
They made a modern version of, wait, they passed me by. Oh, BJ and the Bear, where they dress up the ape as a lady.
Is that true? They keep making stuff up.
If BJ and the Bear 10 more years, Bear would have ripped out his fingers and eyes. Greg something played Billy Joe McKay on the show BJ and the Bear. He later starred in My Two Dads. I remember My Two Dads. Where I used to watch that. I don't know why, because it was a dumb concept to the show, but I used to watch it. I guess because it wasn't a lot of shirt.
There's nothing on the back of her shirt. I remember the Rockford Files too, William.
No, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I remember the Rockford Files. Barely. Because I remember watching it, but I don't really remember the program that well because I think I was too young.
Yeah, I just don't like putting something on pre-order on the high-end collectibles. They want it to do a non-refundable deposit to take your money and never see the figure. Yeah.
Yeah, at least if they cancel it, they'll pay you back. But if you get impatient and cancel it, you're not getting that deposit. That's how they get you. So you're stuck waiting for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Robert wants to know if I saw his Quark video. I don't remember Twins. I remember the Twins. There was the Twins, the Fearful Robot, the guy who switched back and forth between a male and a female personality, and he also had a pet who was like a giant amoeba. It was transparent, and another guy who was a plant man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was like Mr. Spock. The show was all right, but I understand the concept, and actually the best part of the show was the cowardly robot. The cowardly robot was hilarious, but they got in too much trouble for parodying too many different sci-fi enterprises, and that's why it got pulled off the air. I think it only had like 6 or 7 episodes. Starring the guy who I can't remember the actor's name. He was in Love at First Bite and also Westworld. But the robot was priceless on that show because like he'd get kidnapped by he was captain of a garbage scow, and he always getting pulled into stuff, and the robot would get kidnapped, and he was like, if you think you're going to torture me and get me to reveal secrets, you've got another thing coming. It won't be necessary. I'm terrified of torture. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Why do you remember that? I can't remember half the stuff I see.
Barney Miller.
I remember Barney Miller.
Yeah, Barney Miller. I remember that show.
Wow, could you imagine if Clint Eastwood actually made like a Where Are They Now type flick of him at what a Lobo?
Oh, well, they'll probably eventually when he dies, they'll do a movie about him, and it'll probably be like seriously inaccurate, like the David Bowie one that came out a couple of years back, and his son was like furious because he was like, this movie, nothing in this film resembles Dad at all. Or Queen, apparently really inaccurate. And what do you expect? I mean, you can't trust any of that stuff.
No. We saw Night Stalker. That was the movie. It had 2 parts. The Night Stalker.
Yeah, made for TV. The Night Stalker. Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Yeah, Kolchak was pretty cool. The Flash TV series. I like the Flash TV series.
Oh yeah.
There was only 1 season, and it was interesting. Barry Allen, the Barry Allen Flash, because they didn't have CGI, so the guy would have to do something for hours, and then they would speed up the film. Like he would have to, like if he's tying somebody, he'd have to run around them with a rope for like 20 minutes, and they speed it up to look like it was 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Or eat a bowl of cereal. He'd have like bowls of cereal, or flip through books. There was one episode where he had like 100 books, and he's turned every page of every book, and then they speed it up to look like it was only 20 seconds. So he'd spend hours just doing like one menial task so that they could make it look like the Flash is going fast. That's doing it the hard way.
Rat says he was in Target today. There were like 1 million Keldor and Trapjaw Origins figures.
Origins figures caught up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in Walmart.
Walmart too. And Target and all of those places. They're not like what they were when they first came out. You couldn't hardly find it, and they were on eBay for ridiculous prices.
Yeah.
They can be found
You
now.
wait. Some things you can wait out.
Yeah.
Some things you can wait out.
And that is one of them.
Oh, Johnny wants to know if I'll ever have another TV show theme quiz. Y'all like that? Who remembers the quizzes? We might do that again.
I want to do one with music.
They were music.
No, I mean songs.
You want to get me in even more trouble? I got in trouble for the last two with YouTube. Copyright infringement for like 5 seconds of music that I played because they don't want me to make money off of them. I'm not making money now. What the hell are you doing to me?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if people like it, it was fun.
Sequential Geek, David Bowie movie was already done, but it bombed really bad, and the family fought it because it was so wildly inaccurate.
Donovan want to know if we've been watching the Johnny Depp trial. No. Because it's a distraction from
the real world. It's a distraction.
And you got to ask yourself, if you putting that on and you want us to see that so bad, what you trying to hide?
What are you hiding? There's other trials that were more important and they were overlooked.
Yeah. Mark says Dark Shadows had eerie music. That was a good show, though. It was a really good show. I liked it. Tom Hiddleston could play David Bowie. Oh yeah, you talked about that. They already made a David Bowie.
Darren says the $6 million Man special effects was slow motion. Yeah, and it worked though. They made it work. It was that's probably one of the best.
I'm not gonna even try and get rid of that thing again. I put him in the hide the user, timeout.
Yeah.
All of that. Report, and it still comes up. Sorry, man.
I remember Flip Wilson. He had there's stuffed animals of Flip Wilson manufactured by Shindana in the 1970s. They're pull string talkers. Flip Wilson is a two-sided doll, and one side is Flip and the other side is his character Geraldine. Is it Geraldine? And you pull the string and he talks. If you can find one that still talks. But I think Shindana made that in like 77 or 78 or something. Let me see.
Let's see. Might want to check the settings on
the
box.
we just hit it.
Yeah.
Pain in the butt. It's incredible.
What you doing now?
Rubbing up on that box. Kitty's trying to keep us company. Come on,
She's
girl.
Too scary to do anything. If you make a move, she jumps and runs.
She's very, very fearful. And this is the cat that she's a stray that was adopted, of course, and her leg was broken really badly, and this before we got her, and when it healed incorrectly because it healed in the wild while she was out running around, and so one paw is deformed, and so when she walks like this with one paw turned out, but she's terrified, gets scared real easy. You should see her in a thunderstorm. If it's raining outside, she literally crawls around the house looking around. It's sad. She's picking on me, but it's sad.
I'm just trying to read. Robert said they made a life-size talking Tina doll. I think I've seen that before.
That's correct.
$6 Million Man wasn't only slow-mo. They also had this hypering sound when he moved. One of my top shows at the time. It was so cool, and I believed everything. Stephen King remaking the Firestarter. Yeah, I saw that. They're remaking the Firestarter movie. And
I don't. The first one was fine.
Yeah.
There's a made-for-TV sequel that is awful, but the original Firestarter is not a bad film, and I don't see why you should even touch it. Usually when they remake something, they screw it up.
Yeah.
There's a few exceptions, like the remake of The Blob in the 80s.
That was good.
The remake of
It. They're doing a Pennywise movie.
The remake
about Pennywise and where he came from.
The remake of The Thing was good. Yeah. John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah. The remake from a few years ago was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had a couple of things that, was like, okay.
Let me see. Robert says he misses Crumb. He's like the mascot. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm enjoying your recent GI Joe videos. Says Logic Blaster. Well, thank you. Yeah, I try. When I get a piece, I put it in. I used to have a massive collection. Of course, most of my original collection was stolen, and just slowly trying to rebuild it. And it's not easy anymore. The stuff has gotten so expensive.
Go ahead.
Looks like you're reading the same one.
How do you choose which items you're going to sell at the upcoming convention?
Just overflow doubles. If I got an upgrade on something, stuff like that. Basically, because I'm not trying to make a fortune, just trying to recover some of the money and probably end up spending it right there at the show.
Yeah, I know I got a bunch of doubles of things, and that's what I sell, the doubles. So basically that's how you pick something that's a double.
Oh, a couple people asked, I think, is the Planet of the Apes TV series worth watching?
You ever saw the TV series?
Yes, is one season. It's not bad, and of course, oh God, what is that guy's name? The same actor plays Cornelius in everything. What is that guy's name? I can't think. The original Cornelius. He was Cornelius. He was Caesar.
McDowell.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell. That's correct. Roddy McDowell. And he was the same character in that and in the animated series. He did the voice. So there's an animated cartoon that is from 74? And if you watch that cartoon, you're like, they put this on Saturday mornings. They got corpses hanging upside down on crosses burning in the opening sequence of the cartoon with trumpets blowing.
Oh boy, the bots are back.
Incredible.
Robert was talking about that show, The Brave New World. Are you talking about the new one that's out? Because Brave New World came out in hold on. Brave New World came out, I think, in the 70s.
There's two versions.
But they have a weekly program, a TV show that came out. So, but the movie came out in the 70s, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that version. The new one, it seems like they just want to emphasize on a lot of the gratuitous sex. And so it's like,
because they talked about that in the movie, but they just made reference to it. But in the new movie, they just kind of highlight that aspect of the world. Of their society.
Brolycon talking about Alien Nation. Yeah, I remember that show. It was a movie and then it was a TV series. Yeah, that's correct. And that wasn't bad. It was an interesting concept. It was a very interesting concept of the show.
Occam's ready to say he can't believe that they're dusting off Harrison Ford again for another Indiana Jones.
Even he said it. And he said that they shouldn't they should never make it again. They should stop because they already messed up with Crystal Skull. And then if that they shouldn't reboot the franchise either. Yeah, Mad Hatter, Robert. Roddy McDowell was the Mad Hatter in the original. No, he did the voice of the Mad Hatter in the animated Batman series. But in the 1966 Batman, Roddy McDowell was Bookworm.
I started collecting the Chaos line of action figures from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
So, David, Roddy McDowell made a whole fortune by incarcerating an ape. I do that at least 45 years, and it brought me nothing but troubles. Unfair.
Or maybe he means impersonating.
Impersonating.
Yeah, everything Planet of the Apes from the 70s, Roddy McDowell played the same character. TV show, comic, a cartoon series, movies, all of it. It was Roddy McDowell.
The original Mego action figures of Planet of the Apes are linked in the TV series. Okay.
No, Donovan, they don't need another Porky's movie. They don't need to bring that back. Stepford Wives.
Alien Nation is on Tubi. Oh, okay. I never seen Alien Nation.
It's like I said, it's an interesting concept of a film. It's like the aliens crash land scenario, but they were all slaves. They were slaves to some other race. They were being transported somewhere. And so they were like, please, can we just stay here? We don't want to go anywhere. We won't cause any trouble.
Johnny says they're making another Rambo movie. Why? Are they? Are you sure? Oh my god!
Is it still going to have
I
Sylvester Stallone in
the
it?
last one he was wrapping it up. I thought that was the wrap up
Yeah,
he
that's what
said.
the last two he said that though, because he said that in the one where he rescued the evangelists.
Yeah, and then this one, his
in Burma, yeah,
daughter or a niece or somebody got herself
kidnapped in
killed.
Mexico. And Lonan said Stepford Wives. Yeah, that was a good movie where they were
Yeah.
duplicating the women.
Well, you know they did a remake of that too.
Did they?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Let's see. Wasn't Shia that guy supposed to be? I think so. I think he was supposed to be the next Indiana Jones. How about the Stepford Wife?
Yeah, Occam says G.I. Joe Real American Hero, the complete series, $39.99 on DVD at Walmart. Yeah, and they got
That's
a lot
the
of
one we
classics
have.
recently. They put a lot of classics out. They got Alf, they got Knight Rider, they got WKRP, He-Man.
What's that guy Magnum PI show we like? Jesse Stone.
That's expensive though.
That
That
but
one was
Jesse Stone
Jesse
is
Stone is
good.
a well-written series.
It has
really is.
Tom Selleck, and he plays a detective or a police officer, Jesse Stone, that had some issues in California. He moves all the way to, I
New
think
England.
it's the New England region in the Massachusetts area.
To
I
escape
think.
his ex-wife. He wants to
Yeah,
get away from her.
and his character is just so sad, and you feel really bad
But
for
he's
him.
very brave too.
He's very
And
brave,
so
and he knows what he's doing. No nonsense. He don't take nothing from nobody, and it's a real good show. If you and they have some of it on.
what channel was it?
I know it's on Prime. Some of it is for streaming, but they have it at Walmart. But if you can see it, and it's in order,
it's a good
you kind of got to watch it in order
because
it makes reference.
every of the one of the film, it's like made for TV movie miniseries kind of thing. Every one of them does tie in.
Yeah, it ties in, and they'll make mention or they'll talk about something, and if you haven't seen it from the beginning, you'll kind of get lost. But I mean, you can see it anywhere, but they'll make mention of something, and then you'll be like, "Oh, what are they talking about?"
Donovan wants to know if there'll be another Friday the 13th movie.
They don't need to make no more.
They should have stopped after the first one. It wasn't worthy of as many as they made. Those franchise horror films are all overdone.
Yeah, they've Freddy, Michael Myers. They could have stopped Michael Myers on the second one.
Yeah, they intended to.
They did.
It was 1 and 2 were supposed to be a two-parter, and then 3 was supposed to be the introduction of a different concept, because every Friday the 13th film,
not Friday the 13th, Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. I'm sorry. Every Halloween was supposed to be a new story.
Yeah.
But everybody who watched Halloween 3 was like, "Where's Michael Myers?" And that was never the intention when they wrote it in the first place.
Yeah, so then they had to bring him back, and it's like the guy blew up in the hospital.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the end of it when it was in the script, the complete destruction of Michael Myers when he blew up in the hospital.
This thing is never, ever, ever gonna go.
There's Raccoon Eyes.
Hey, Raccoon Eyes.
Where you been?
We love Halloween 3. I like Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It was kind of, it was creepy though. Very creepy.
And then they no, don't click that one.
I click all of them. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna do anything. I click all of it. When I hit report, I hit everyone. Child abuse, pornography.
It still comes back.
I know. It doesn't matter.
Just hide user. Just hide user and erase them all so that it'll clear up, because we can't see. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't see what people are saying. Occam's Razor said, David, did you ever see Luke Perry and Malcolm Warner, Theo? Oh, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
We started watching that, and for some reason we didn't finish, and now you gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, so we never finished seeing it, but it seemed like it was, on a track, I guess, to be something. We also was watching another show called Defiance. That was a show post-apocalyptic in St. Louis, and some aliens came and they were kind of living together with the aliens and trying to get things figured out, and they had a whole thing going on with that. But it kept getting it got too ridiculous, and we just stopped watching that one. But it was okay at first, okay, we're going along, and then it kept getting weirder and weirder as time went on, so we just cut it off.
Edwin wants to know if Roddy McDowell played Caesar after Ricardo Montalban. Yes, he was Caesar also in Planet of the Apes.
Master Mexico says he has all of the Halloween on DVD.
Yeah, he says you can see them beating the brand to death. Yeah.
Yeah, because it got ridiculous.
All of them were overdone.
Yeah.
Johnny Future suggests that Halloween 4 was actually supposed to be the last. I don't remember Halloween 4, to be honest.
Wasn't that the one? I don't remember. I didn't even try. I know that he blew up in the second one. And then the fourth one, they had to bring him back. And one of them, I didn't understand because he was rescued by some blind guy, and he stayed with the blind guy for a year, and the guy nursed him back to health, and then he kills the guy. And it's like, what are you killing the guy for? He didn't do nothing. He nursed you back to health. And I always wanted to see why he was doing something. And I thought Rob Zombie one would kind of explain that. And he did to a degree. Why did he have his little breakdown and kill his parents and
well, it was also it's a nod, or at least a rip off of the scene with Frankenstein with the blind man.
What?
Because there's a scene with in Frankenstein with a blind man who tries to help him.
Oh.
So that's probably why they did that. Of course, all he did was break the guy's door down. But yeah, I don't think Frankenstein killed him. I don't remember.
Oh.
Rat wants to know what my son, and that's a nerdtastic plastic. That was a little confusing. What does he like to collect?
Transformers.
Yeah, original like G1 and G2 Transformers and vintage like kaiju and Godzilla stuff primarily.
Yeah.
And I think also he collects modern Marvel Legends type stuff. Yeah, Jericho. They did it in Young Frankenstein too. That's
Jericho
correct.
was good. And the thing with that, because a couple of shows came out during that time, and they were talking about the government and how the government caused a post-apocalyptic event. And as soon as they brought that up in Jericho, they ended the show.
The end of the series.
And it was a good show.
That because it was a terrorist attack in 50 cities. 50 nukes went off. And it turns out it was a government conspiracy. It was a red flag. And when they revealed that, the show was canceled.
Yeah, and it was actually a pretty good show.
It's a good concept.
And they were going somewhere with it. And they also did that in the show Revolution, which that girl in Revolution was just too much. I've watched it though. But as soon as they made it clear that the government did all of that, staged the whole thing, and the power really wasn't out, the government just turned the power out, they canceled the show.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of shows like that.
Yeah.
And they blamed everything on the government, and then the show was canceled.
Censorship.
Yeah. So, but Jericho was a good show, and people petitioned for that show to come back, but they didn't bring it back. Now, if they do, it's going to be ridiculous. So, Young Frankenstein was the one with that guy, wasn't it?
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Gene Wilder was good in a lot of films.
Donovan said, "Thank you for staying on so long."
Yeah, we if we get into some good conversation.
Yeah, we got a good back and forth conversation,
and we like to I know it's different. Some people have pointed out it's very different than a lot of other chats because we're not sitting here just talking to each other.
Yeah, we're talking to you guys.
Acknowledging the people that are watching, because what would we be doing if nobody was there? So it's all about you guys, really.
Logic Blaster wants to know if we saw the 70s remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We did.
That's probably the best one. Yeah, that was a decent remake. It was.
They did one in the 90s or the early 2000s with that guy.
Bad.
The James Bond guy.
It was terrible. Yeah.
It was.
It moved too quickly. And it's just silly.
Did we see Charlton Heston in Omega Man? I thought Schwarzenegger was in Omega Man.
No.
Did I see Omega
saw
Man? I didn't see that movie.
I Am Legend was based on it, and Omega Man was based on Vincent Price's Last Man
Man
on
on Earth.
Earth.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Last Man on Earth with
So Omega
Vincent
Man
Price.
was a remake, but it was decently done. I did like Omega Man. You can't think of you'd be hard pressed rather to come up with a bad Charlton Heston film.
Oh, really?
John McJunkin says we still love your YouTube show. Thank you. I appreciate like Dr. Forrester. Thank you.
Have you seen Lady Hawk with Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Broderick?
I don't think so. That doesn't seem familiar.
And William Randall said he saw a live production of Young Frankenstein some years ago at a
Oh,
local theater.
okay. That sounds interesting.
I wish we could be with Doc Brown, go back in time.
Uh-huh.
I like what Doc Brown said. No man should know too much about his own destiny.
Yeah, and that's from Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown. Who has heard the theory that Dr. Brown is actually Marty McFly as an old man?
I never heard that.
Yeah, there's a theory out there. You know how people have these movie trivia theories? That's
Mhm.
one of them. But you've already seen Marty McFly old in the second film and doesn't look like Doc Brown. Never mind the fact that even as an old man, he's still like a foot shorter. But that is a theory that gets tossed around by the fandom. Johnny says even I haven't heard that, and of course Johnny Future is a big fan of Back to the Future.
He's a Back to the Future expert.
Yeah, kind of.
Master Max, so it really always the best toy chat around. Not only that you interact, but you know what you're talking about. That is very special place here. I mean, you even give Snake Eyes a chance.
Oh, I'm giving that guy a chance. He's on his own.
No, that movie was not good. They didn't paint Snake Eyes in a good light, and they went all the way away from what they created him to be in the cartoon. In the cartoon, he had loyalty, he had ethics and morals, and in this show, in the movie, he was just like selfish, out for his own. I understand he was upset because his father was killed, and somebody came up and said, "Hey, you work for me. I'll give you the information about who killed your father." But he backstabbed his friend that was trying to help him, and that was
more than once.
Yeah. And that just was not in line with his character.
Edwin says he just missed seeing William Shatner.
Oh yeah,
$130 for an autograph.
Ooh.
It's getting up there. That's not that for the caliber of William Shatner. That's not bad, actually. The way the things are going.
Yeah, Uncle's Razor talking about how he's seen Soylent Green as people. John Connor, you're from the future. Yes, 30 years from the future program.
And let me see. John McJunkin wants to know if anybody remembers the Back to the Future cartoon series. Yeah. Do you remember the Ace Ventura cartoon or the Bill and Ted cartoon? That was a thing in the 90s. They did a lot of that kind of stuff.
I would rather pay $130 for a photo with William Shatner than pay for his autograph. Mm-hmm. I have no photos with him.
Oh.
Okay.
Would you if he was out, would you get a picture with him? If he showed up around where you are?
Oh, isn't he going on a trip soon? Somewhere?
Who?
Johnny in Washington State. He going on another vacation to go see somebody.
I don't think so.
No, I thought I saw that on Facebook. And Donovan wants to talk about my Funko Pop collection.
No, we're not talking about Pops today.
That's messed up.
Raccoon says he remembers the Bill and Ted breakfast cereal. Yeah, that's right. Cereal? It had a phone. That's right. It was like a sandwich box or a juice box container or something, right? And it came shrink wrapped on the outside of the cereal box.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Have you seen an 8-inch Mego GI Joe set with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
I have seen it.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
In the store?
No, you had to order that directly from HasLab.
Oh.
That's why.
We mentioned Neil Adams earlier. Mr. Adams never changed for an autograph. Maybe
charged
for an autograph. Maybe a sketch. So I have a few of his comments. Oh, okay.
When I used to do the Great Eastern Conventions back in the 90s, nobody charged for an autograph. Unless not comic book writers or artists or any of those guys. And when you went to the room, if it was a show that had celebrity guests, like Lou Ferrigno was there, Bill Mummy was there, somebody like that, autograph was like $10 or $15 at the most.
Let's see. Well, I'm glad I caught you guys this time around. Keep up the good work. You're my favorite channel. Watch everything. Life calls. Got to jet. Okay.
Oh.
You have a good week, and we'll see you the next time.
Okay.
Back to the Future cartoon, but remember Bill and... Okay, we said that. You're gonna love Funko Pops because we're all closeted Funko.
I don't know about that.
Not taking a trip, but you're going to Land of the Lost.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
I knew you was going somewhere,
remember you
and I was
mentioning
saying,
that.
I hope everything works out, because that trip to California was sad. I felt bad for you.
Yeah, and I hope you have a really good time. He's going to the breakfast too. He's doing the breakfast where he's going to sit there.
I hope it's some good food.
I hope you have a good get to have a good chat with the actors.
Yeah, and that y'all can all sit to the same table. And they don't put you, like them over here and the minions over there.
Robert says our live streams make his day. Well, we're glad you're having a good time.
David is the grand master of collectors.
Am I? I don't know. I thought that was what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Pixel Dan. Isn't that supposed to be the grand master? He's over 300,000 subscribers now. That guy. And Rat says there's a new breakfast cereal coming out where you pour an orange juice instead of milk. I never heard of that.
He just joking.
Cereal's not the same anymore. It's not like when we were kids. Cereal was I want to do a discussion on that sometime in the near future.
Cereal?
Because everything, not just cereal, but everything is a franchise now. But growing up, these things were cultural phenomenons, even breakfast cereals. It was. And it's been reduced to franchises, and that's why everything is screwed up now. Oh, Mark Frankel says, good night, peeps.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, for Johnny says only 14 people at the breakfast. Wow, that's it?
Well, good. Maybe you have a chance to sit to the same table and talk.
Yeah, that's the idea. Maybe you can ask him some questions and just get some insight. It might be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, William says Pixel Dan's going to be at PowerCon. Yeah, we've seen him in a couple of shows before. He gets around. He goes to a lot of shows.
Yeah, we've seen him at a couple of shows around here. Most likely he probably will be at the Joe Fest coming up. When is that, next month? The Joe Fest?
I don't know if he's going to be at Joe Fest. When is Joe Fest? Do I have the card for it?
I think he's usually there.
No, the last time he was at Toylanta. I think it was at Toylanta. Joe Fest is June 24th to the 26th.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to Joe Fest, but we're not going to have a table at Joe Fest.
No,
we're not doing that. But we are going to go there. But
which one is Bob Backlund going to be?
I don't know where he is. I just know he's on the autograph circuit now, but I don't know when he's turning up. This is the one we're going to next.
I love myself some Bob.
Yeah, Bob. He acts like a baby, that guy. He throws a big tantrum.
Don't talk about that.
Bob Backlund does throw tantrums. That's part of his act.
He's the best wrestler. I love Bob.
Oh God,
I used to love me some Bob Backlund when he was out in the 80s and early 90s. I did. I loved Bob Backlund. Master
Maniac says Pixel Dan is a good marketing geek, but not a grand master. I've heard a lot of stuff about him. I don't want to get into it though.
It's year of collecting, not the subscribers.
True.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it because I don't have a crap ton of subscribers, but that's all right. I just enjoy sharing with people.
Just
And
sharing the knowledge and talking and doing all of that. It's fun.
Raccoon's Eye says that the Smurfberry Crunch was awesome.
They
I wish they still made. They made all kinds of stuff. They had the Ghostbusters. They had, who remembers Freaky's cereal? Freaky's. Oh man, there's so many. The C3POs. Who remembers C3POs cereal, or the GI Joe stars?
They all taste exactly the same.
Pretty much, but you don't understand. It said GI Joe on the box. Ghostbusters cereal.
And now you can buy just the old vintage cereal boxes.
There's a big market for that. Some of them are worth quite a bit, actually.
So we can talk pops, corn pops, and all the beautiful toys we found in those boxes. For I ate cereal. I used to like Alphabet cereal. I used to eat. I only had a limited Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
What's the Captain Crunch and Alphabet.
It was either with me, it was a miracle.
Frosted Flakes.
If I got a real box of cereal, because it was.
Oh, you got the one in the bag.
It was either cornflakes or and not even the authentic brand, but the store brand cornflakes or store brand Rice Krispies or store brand Kicks, and that's all she would get. It was a miracle if I ended up with a box of Blueberry. And then she always used powdered milk. Anybody ever used powdered milk? You couldn't run that through a blender and have it come out tasting like milk, especially in the 70s.
I remember
powdered honeycomb. Milk. Yeah, honeycomb I liked.
I remember powdered milk.
I remember Total cereal. Yeah, powdered milk is awful.
Yeah, I remember Total and Wheaties.
That's right. Raccoon Eye says C3POs had the mask you cut out. Yeah, it had a mask on the back of the box. That's right.
Quist is really good. They still make it. Andre the Giant honeycomb cereal. It's got a big bite.
With a big taste, because it was the honeycomb hideout and they were in the treehouse in the commercials. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
See, it was a cultural phenomenon. Not anymore. Now it's just an aisle of endless choices and nobody cares.
Do people steal from the tables at the shows, or do other vendors watch the tables while you're not looking?
You can ask somebody to keep an eye out, and they probably will. Stealing does happen, but it's not that often. It's not that often that it'll happen. But you do have to watch out for it.
It's easy to, because I was at a table and I wanted to buy something from the table. I picked it up. I looked around for the guy. He wasn't there. And I asked the guy next, I was like, is this your table? No, that guy went somewhere. He walked off. And I'm just standing here. I'm like, dude, your table is wide open. I mean, I put the thing back because the guy wasn't there.
That's us, though. But what if it wasn't?
But you see that, or you'll see the vendor talking to 2-3 people over here in this corner and the rest of the table, and you can just easily pick stuff up and walk away. And if you're dishonest and you steal a lot, you can make out.
Yeah.
You can really make out. But I don't know. I'll be scared to do all that.
Robert says, "I wants to know if I saw Sergeant Slaughter on Whoosh." No, I did not. I don't watch Whoosh anymore. I have watched it before, but I don't watch that channel anymore.
I only watched his weekly roundup. He used to do, well, he still does that, and I used to watch that on Whoosh, but I never seen him do anything. Well, I never looked. So
Ridley Cinema is here.
Hey,
and they're
Ridley,
like, why didn't I get a notification? I don't know. Because it's YouTube and they're evil.
How's your back?
Yeah, really.
How's your back doing? I know,
we're glad you made it, though.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
And good night. Mom never bought me original Kellogg's. Oh, good point. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma sometimes had a heart, but it was still something special.
And then this guy, William Randall, makes the same comment about McDonald's. Yeah, it used to be a cultural phenomenon. It did. I'm going to do a discussion on that.
We did have one on that.
No, we didn't. No,
we didn't.
I remember. I got the brains. See,
I guess.
I'm the brains of the outfit. See, yeah.
Yeah, but that kind of stuff was because we were talking about it today because we saw a McDonald's Happy Meal box in the trash can and they stopped making Happy Meal boxes because when I worked at McDonald's as a teenager, they had already moved to bags and we had to make the bags to put in the drive-through. If you worked in the bag booth of the drive-through, your job was to make the bags, the Happy Meal bags.
Yeah.
Um, so they had already moved to boxes, and you had all of the commercials advertising glasses, advertising the toys, and all of that's gone now.
Yeah.
They don't do any of that.
They dabble in it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and it seems like sometimes they try to kind of go back to that a little bit, but it doesn't really work because now kids don't care about that stuff.
No, it doesn't seem to. Ridley says they're sorry they're late. That's all right. I mean, if you didn't get the notifications, nothing you can
Yeah,
do about it.
we're just glad you're here.
And they need some good vibes today. Who
Oh,
doesn't? Who doesn't?
I walked a mile to the
Mhm.
pawn shop like I used to. The mile back home sure does knock me out.
Sure.
I'm still feeling exhausted after 24 hours, but you did it.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
that's
the
what
point.
counts.
And every week you keep going and it's going to get easier. So we're happy for you that you're doing better. Have
And
you found your
Johnny,
trapper keeper yet? No, I haven't
no,
found the trapper keeper. I forgot about that trapper keeper actually.
and
I said I wanted one or two.
Johnny says who collected Bazooka Joe comics? I did. And who remembers Fortune Gum? I always bring
Nobody.
this up. There's an orange wrapper, a rectangular orange wrapper, and it had a stick of crappy gum in it, but it came with a fortune wrapped around it. There was like 100 different fortunes, and you were supposed to collect them all. It was like a fortune cookie, but it was gum. Who remembers that?
Nobody remembers that.
And Rat misses actual toy prizes and Cracker Jacks. They
Yeah.
they don't even give you a sticker or a tattoo, a crappy tattoo
No.
anymore.
They give you a website address.
Yeah, it's like a barcode or some crap or some kind of online code for something worthless that nobody cares about.
I remember the Burger King glasses being a big deal back in the late 70s and early 80s, especially the Star Wars ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Brolycon says he thinks people are honest at toy convention. Most expensive stuff are usually in a display cabinet. Yeah, I mean it doesn't happen often, but it happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like people are getting robbed left and right, but you know, occasionally something turns up missing.
I remember a vendor trying to pull a fast one on me about a Game Boy being super rare. I know my Game Boys. He couldn't fool me. Sad people feel they need to do that to customers.
Some vendors aren't square. You know how it is. I mean,
Hmm.
some are real honest, and there's a few that are not.
Yeah, and they try to pull a fast. Oh, that's really rare, and there's only a few of them, and you know the product, and you're thinking, lady, who you think you're talking to?
Everything is rare. Just ask eBay. Everything's rare and everything is vintage.
Grand Cashy, old guys matter.
Hey, where'd Stone Sour go?
I don't know. He said
Yeah.
hi, but he didn't say anything else. But he usually listens though. And if you
Hmm.
say that you're gonna get off, then he'll come in and say, no, I'm here, I'm here.
And
Something
Logic
like that.
Blaster remembers the Burger King glasses being a big deal. Yeah, and especially the Star Wars, and they had the exclusive rights to that, to the Star Wars glasses. But glasses from franchises were a big thing in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of glasses, all those fast food places had them. And prior to that, um, gas stations used to do glasses.
Did they?
Yeah, but
Mm.
it wasn't anything, it wasn't like a movie or a show franchise like you would get from the fast food places.
Mm. I found that people are mostly respectful at those venues and rarely, if
Mhm.
ever, steal. Having said that, I wouldn't trust those ladies at the senior center bingo hall. They will, they will steal you blind. My McDonald's playset was listed as vintage and it's from
Yeah,
2003.
see, But and they do that. And try looking up vintage Masters of the Universe now, and it'll be
Yeah.
all
Origins figures
Origins
or
and
Super
7, a lot of Super 7, and a
Yeah.
lot of oh, what was the other one? The Maddie Club ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like half of the listings aren't vintage at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, McDonald's made glasses with their characters on them. That's correct. There is a set of vintage glasses with their main characters, like what you see back here. If anybody's noticed, those are the 1976 Remco action figures lined up through here. Mint on the
has the McDonald's Funko Pops too. Don't let them trick you.
And then the playset, the Remco playset, sealed in the box. But this is like one of my favorite lines right there. Those are cool figures, 12 scale.
Have you seen a live toy auction before? Not me.
I've seen it, but I've seen that they do a lot of those on Facebook. A lot of toy and comic auctions. I don't quite understand how that works because I don't pay that much attention. Seems to me like I don't know. I don't know if you can get good deals that way or not.
Oh, he's saying in person, not online.
A lot. No, I haven't done any of those.
Wow, Robert hasn't been to a convention since 2000. He doesn't leave the house. Robert doesn't leave the house. Because he said he's scared to leave the house. He won't go to the no, that's Kaiser that doesn't go to the movies.
Who doesn't go out to the movies?
Kaiser, because he don't want to be around people because they might have the virus. We're watching a show now and they think they're talking about the virus. It's called The Island.
The Island. It's a German show, but it's dubbed in English.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about this virus is spreading across the world and how these people, they live on the island and now they're stuck there trying to deal with it. And it's pretty good. Do you display your graded comics?
Yeah, I don't have them set up right now. Well, I've got a spot where I'm gonna make a rack so that I can display them up there because I would like to display them. That's one of the main reasons I got them graded in the first place.
It always creeps me out that He-Man had that weird stuff around his crotch after time.
He's not wearing a loincloth. That's his hair.
No, it ain't.
That's pubic hair.
Actually, they sold the McDonald's Motu glasses directly in Germany, filled with mustard. I remember having like 6 hamburger glasses. Wow.
Yeah, also Welch's used to do that. Who remembers the Welch's jelly jars?
Yeah.
It was the small jelly jar and it had like some kind of character on the outside. That was a big thing in the 70s.
You had to eat that jelly first.
Yeah, you only got a little jar. You can go through that pretty quick.
I'm going to watch the new Liam Neeson movie pretty soon. Gotta shop at Walmart first.
Oh, okay, Ridley explains. Ridley says, I don't leave home because I work from home, and have you met humans? It's not worth it 95% of the time. He's right. It's most people are pretty distasteful.
Yeah. It's sad the way society is. You read the news and you see things that come up in the news and you're like, wow, how can people be that way? And you just, I don't know, you just wonder how can people be that way. I'm going to read the various articles.
Mean and selfish and
just
ignorant,
uncaring, and unconcerned about somebody else,
and then put on a big act about how outraged they are, but they're as bad as or worse even than what they're pretending to be outraged at. We're not picking on you. I mean, we totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, we're just talking about like how you see in society, and then people, they're so uncaring about others, so don't bother with them. And make it like this big deal that you're being bothered with society and you put yourself out there. I don't know. It's just, but yeah, the news, someone was murdered. How?
Now he's a puppy. Oh, it's bait and switch.
Yeah.
Lonan had the Tom and Jerry jars. I remember that they did everybody. They Hanna-Barbera, they did
Yeah.
Flintstones and
Care
all
Bears.
kinds of stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. The Welches, the jelly jars. I don't know if they did Care Bears.
Who remember glass soda bottles with the contrast under the
Contents under the cap?
Yeah, I remember that you would twist the top and it have like a riddle or a Rebus game or something like that. Those were good. Or you could save up the caps to win a prize.
Yeah, I remember the Rebuses. I used to pick those up off the ground. It was I don't know what company made them. It was some beer company used to have Rebuses under them all the time. And that's those pictograms. If you're not sure what a rebus is, where it
Classic Concentration.
Yeah, Classic Concentration is a good example of that, where or a game show, and it has pictures, and the pictures, when you read the pictures out, it spells out a sentence.
Or a phrase or something like that. Time to quit living in fear. Yep.
Oh, would be nice. Most people are afraid all the time anyway. It's natural to have fear, but you've got to you still have to live your life. Fear is a warning. It's not supposed to control you or put an end to you.
Where are we? I actually found some 80s sweets for you. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, really? So are they like 40 years old?
Yeah, because it's from the 80s.
Yeah, it'll break our teeth.
Some,
crunch.
Some Tootsie Rolls from the 80s. And some cereal.
Remember when Tootsie Rolls used to come in a bank?
No.
It was the short tube, and it had a slit on the top, and it was full of Tootsie Rolls.
I do remember that. But you had a short tube, and you had the long one that came out like during the holidays.
I like I like Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls classic.
Yeah, and that one didn't change.
Yeah, it didn't change.
They didn't change the package or nothing like that. You know, they made the long ones, but it's the same. They didn't change the taste or the flavor or whatever. Bowl Bammit. Hey guys, are you still on?
Yes, for a little bit here.
They are all new, but from the old days. We had vintage candy at our wedding. We had a candy table.
That's right.
And I found it online. You can find, if you type in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s candy. They group the candy by the year. And we had a bunch of vintage candy from the 80s. Yeah, I don't think it was any from the 70s, but mainly from the 80s. And we had a candy table at our wedding, and bags, and people loaded up on candy.
Yeah, just something different to add in with our overall wedding. Ridley's reminiscent here. Says, remember spending the night at Grandma's and in the morning eating waffles, drinking from a Tom and Jerry glass, and watching Scooby-Doo cartoons. Good times. Yeah, and that's why at our age we're still sitting here talking about that stuff.
I spent the night at my grandma. We had grits and eggs and
simpler times before we had to grow up, and before we had to grow up and realize it was easier when we were kids.
Yep, I remember when gumball machines were popular in the store. And you had the gumball machines and the ones with the prizes, and you got that big egg.
Yeah,
and they had the prize in it, a ring or a watch or
some
something.
Little cheap piece of junk, and it was like a watch on the card, but you could never get that watch.
No,
that watch wasn't coming out of that gumball machine.
No.
But you would get some like little tin ring or
that little cheap
piece of
ring.
garbage.
You squeeze it with your finger
to adjust the size, and then it would snap off.
Yeah, I remember. Or that gum that was so hard, but then it was hollow in the middle.
Or it would be a big piece that was like you'd have to crush it or chop it in half to get started on it.
Was Play World a good as I never been to Play World. I never been to a toy store until I met David.
My favorite was always KB.
I remember. Okay, we said the gumball. Yeah. I don't want to grow up I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah, that's how that was their slogan.
Pop Rocks. Always wondered if birds blew up eating Pop Rocks.
I don't know if they would eat it.
Mm-hmm.
If they would bother with Pop Rocks. I remember vaguely remember those. I remember eating it in like the 70s, but I don't recall it too well.
Remember the big machine with all the toy eggs in there and the big rotating chicken in the no.
No,
I
actually.
don't remember
I know
that.
what you're talking about because I've seen them, but I never saw one when I was a kid.
I remember outside of every grocery store, they had the riding horse.
Or something like it.
Yeah, some
The little
type
machine you
of
put a quarter in.
mechanical animal. It was usually a horse or something. But every grocery store, Walmart had one.
Or like a rocket or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
or a motorcycle or something. And you always wanted to get on. Oh, nobody hardly ever got on that thing. Sometime you would see somebody on it. But those were things you remember and you look forward to going to the store so you can get on that little horse for like a minute. It was
Yeah.
like a ride for a minute and
I
now it was
remember
over
I
with.
remember Child World. Child World was like Toys R Us before Toys R Us turned into a furniture store.
And a Babies R Us. Because all it sold was baby clothes.
Robert wants to know if Six Flags Great America is still a thing. I don't know.
They got a Six Flags here in Georgia.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's which one it is. I know it's a Six Flags because you know they all got a name. But yeah, it's one here in Georgia. I never been there though.
Yeah, Logic Blaster says the KB was amazing. Yeah, um, it was because everything was redlined. I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff in here with a KB price tag on it with that red line through it with the new discount price written in. Mr. Bobot, hi.
Hi.
Mr. Bobot, late to the show, but thanks for joining us.
Six Flags is in New Jersey. Meyer still has Sandy. The whole yeah, I remember when we lived in Illinois, the Sandy was out there. And that was a big thing for Myers, the Sandy the horse. And it was on the commercials and stuff.
Oh, there's Ridley talking about going to arcades. Yeah, leave at least a handful of plushies from the Crane. Uh, Dad was a master of the Crane machine. Crane machines have died out of popularity. So have arcades. There are still arcades.
Yeah.
They're still out there, but it's not the same thing. It's
No.
Again another cultural phenomenon.
Because when we were kids, the arcades stayed packed. Like the mall around here,
yeah.
they have a big arcade. They have
Nobody in there.
Nobody's
Yeah.
in there.
It's huge.
But then nowadays, because honestly, when they did put it out, it used to be full of kids, but now they got a curfew on kids being in the mall.
Yeah.
So you really can't be in the mall. First, it was kids can't be in the mall after a certain time, but then it was still bad. So now kids can't be in the mall without an adult.
Yeah.
So,
but that was a big thing because it was the video game era.
Yeah.
In the early 80s when all those arcade machines, they started cranking them out.
I remember Showbiz Pizza.
It replaced pinball because pinball machines was a big thing in arcades, but then that died out and a pinball machine was just something you'd find in a bar or whatever. And then when the stand-up video game arcade system started coming out, then that brought that back. But it was a big cultural phenomenon when I was a kid.
Mr. Bott says that he remember Showbiz Pizza, and that was similar to
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I remember that one, and really remember the claw machines. They're still at Walmart, but nobody plays them. Yeah, now and Johnny says they're full of electronics now.
Yeah, if you can get anything. That's what William is saying. Try getting a Jurassic Park plush from at his theater. It was he's no good at it. It's not that you're no good. It's that those ends are rounded, so anything it picks up is going to slide out of it. They're rigged. You know how it works.
Oh wow. My mall has an arcade and it's all retro. All you can play for one price. That's cool.
I've heard there's a couple of places like that.
We've seen a couple of YouTube videos where people have a vintage arcade games in their house. And they have like an arcade room and they got like 10, 12 big stand-up machines, the retro ones, and that's pretty cool. But boy, it takes up a lot of space. We have the Pinball Hall of Fame here in Vegas.
That's
Oh, you live in
interesting.
Vegas?
Yeah. What was it? Johnny was saying he wished Barnum and Bailey Circus was still there. Barnum and Bailey, yeah,
They died out with the
circuses are
animals.
going away too. Circuses are disappearing.
I went to Barnum and Bailey twice, but with the once they got rid of the animals, then they kind of got rid of the circus.
Well, PETA sued the hell out of them. Yeah. And the thing is, even after Barnum and Bailey stopped using animals, because when I worked for JJA, we would do field trips. I've probably been to like 30 circuses, including Barnum and Bailey's a few times, and the Shriners a bunch of times, and whatever on these field trips. The last like few of the Barnum and Bailey ones, they didn't even have animals. They stopped using them completely. They had one elephant that was there as like a mascot that they would march out. And the thing is that even after they stopped using them, PETA kept suing them, and they couldn't afford the lawsuits anymore. So they just went bankrupt and shut down.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, I'm just
trying to get rid of the bots again. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much we do it. My favorite toy store or gift shop was in the airport in Japan. Oh. What country would you like to go to?
I bet that would have been interesting. You know what? I'd like to go to Japan in the 70s and go to a toy store and find some of that really early, like Popey and Marushan and stuff. The kaiju and the mecha would be really cool.
Yeah. Besides the ones about I think the elephants going crazy probably make the circus go away. We saw a lot of that with the
Bullmark. Yeah, Bullmark's a good one.
What's that?
Another manufacturer from vintage Japan toys. Lonan mentioned Bullmark there.
Speaking of the circus, was Bozo the Clown a West Coast thing? What didn't you say he was everywhere?
Yeah, well, it was a franchise. Larry Hammond, was it Larry Hammond? Or Harmond, Larry Harmond. And I think there were 3 Bozos franchised out of it. The original Bozo was the East Coast Bozo, and there was a Midwest and I think a West Coast one as well that had their own shows. It was like a franchise, and the main one was based out of Boston. But yeah, so there were I believe 3 versions of Bozo going on at the same time in 3 different time zones across the U.S.
John McJunkin remembers Chuck E. Cheese in Not a Great Light. His uncle was at a birthday party and got drunk and beat up Chucky real bad.
Really? Are you making that up, Chuck?
See?
Are you making that up?
Doesn't matter how much I turn this thing on. You just let it be.
It's too much though. Yeah, just hide.
Yeah, I hate hide.
Yeah, because it's
But how long you hide it for?
I don't know. Not for very long.
Time out must be just like a minute. Should be like an hour.
Yeah, Bozo was awesome. I like and I'm only familiar with watching the East Coast version of Bozo. I'm only familiar with watching that one, but I used to like the challenges that they would do, and it was a live show. Oh, yeah. So they made a lot of mistakes, and they just kept going. They would just keep going despite the mistakes, which was hilarious. And then what's his name? Carol, the guy who
O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor, who was the original Big Bird, started off on that show.
Carol Spinney.
Carol Spinney. Why'd you say O'Connor then?
Because you said Carol, so I said O'Connor.
She's trying to screw me up. That's why. Yeah, 1/6 scale Bozo will make it happen. They only ever made a bendy action figure and some plush pieces and a marionette. There was a marionette that was made. Not much franchising from Bozo, really. They had a record player, a Bozo record player that was figural, and you inserted the 45 RPM record into a slot in the back of it, which is pretty cool. Robert wants ROM Space Night to come back. Give it time. They'll get around to it.
I had Chicago Bozo with the grand prize
Okay,
game.
yeah. I like the challenges that they used to do, because they would bring kids, pick a few kids out, and it was half the time it was like Girl Scout or Brownie Scouts and Boy Scouts in the audience. There was a lot of them in the audience a lot of the time, and he would just randomly pick numbers out of a hat, and every kid had numbers, and they would come down and they would do these physical challenges to try to win the prize table or the wagon. They would wheel a wagon out, and it was filled with prizes. All kinds of stuff was in there, and they could win. And if they didn't win, they get like a consolation prize. And kids, like sometimes the real little kids wouldn't know their number, and he would redirect them. It was kind of funny. Like he's like, number 31, I got number 31, and this kid would come down, and it wasn't 31. He says, yeah, that's not 31. Go back and sit down. And push the kid. He's like, get out of here. Because they had to keep things moving. It was just fun. I rewatched it as an adult because I watched it with my kid because the show was just fun. Because I have 2 seasons of it on DVD of the East Coast version.
Go away.
But yeah, Big Chief will make Bozo. That's all I need. Oh, William says he's got to go watch his movie and look for toys. Been nice talking to you. Actually, we should probably get moving as well.
Yeah, we're going to get wrapped up.
We're going to go get a nice big fat slice of lemon meringue pie.
Yeah, I made lemon meringue pie last night. It has to sit for 24 hours to cool.
She makes really good pie. Yeah, there's a cat behind it. She's coming to visit us again. She's down here. There she goes.
She's ready for David to go upstairs so she can sit on his lap.
Yeah. You can't pick her up. She'll freak out. But
yeah, but she likes to sit on you.
But lame cat. We'll go ahead.
But Master Mexico, if you're still on there, once we get off, I'm gonna come and talk to you on Facebook. So jump on your jump on your Facebook real quick so we can get something worked out.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying there, Ridley. But yeah, we did a video talking about that. What will the next generation have for nostalgia? There's nothing.
Yeah, we talked about that in a video because you think about it, and kids don't really play with toys. And after we die out,
they don't watch shows. Yeah. They don't play with toys. They don't read anything.
They don't make anything new. I mean, the stuff that they make, who wants that? Who wants to collect it?
What are you going to do? Collect? There's a joke. I saw a cartoon where it showed this really old woman, and she was like, do you want to see photos of what I was eating for lunch 30 years ago? Because you know how people take pictures of their food now. That's a thing, and it's like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
That's why I got off of Facebook. I couldn't understand that. You're sending me pictures talking about I'm at lunch, and you taking a picture of your lunch and your dinner. I just got home. I'm about to watch TV. I don't care. Why you want to tell me that?
And what's his name? Rob Van Winkle said that.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice, because he was like, the new generations, they got nothing. He was like the last thing that was any kind of, and there it is again, cultural phenomenon, was the iPod. That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
what do these people have now? Nothing. They got
your
nothing.
Cell phone.
No, we did not see Jungle Cruise. We haven't seen it.
No.
But anyway, like I was saying, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again soon.
Yay.
So have a good night, everybody. And thanks for joining us.